Okay then, Peanuts. I better go live, otherwise I'll have the Peanuts revolt, and I don't want to have revolting Peanuts. That's Wait a
Oh,
minute, that didn't come out right, did it?
oh no.
No.
Salted peanuts. You want fresh peanuts.
yes. We like our peanuts to be fresh. Have
Fresh
we
and
got?
crunchy, not revolting. Oh,
Okay, any fresh
Okay, then
peanuts out there?
peanuts.
Oh, I better turn that down. We don't want to hear that twice again.
no.
Yeah, this is
Um,
whatever
a-
this is whatever Wednesday. So we didn't have a theme for tonight with the telescope or ancient technologies or industrial revolution technologies tonight because I didn't do any homework. Sorry.
Make yourself like it's happening at all, eh?
Yeah, well, I was meant to start at 7:45, mate. Quarter to the hour. Shit, that's half the hour now already. So
Hmm.
I am running it really late. Only because there was no one around and no one got the notifications.
No, well, that's it. Like I said, I didn't know you were doing it. Not until you put something up in Jem's chat, and I thought, oh, all right then. I'd got no notifications at all.
And if I didn't
Good
do
old you.
that, no one would have known. Because I
No,
thought, oh, I better just go and put it around in case somebody might have forgotten or didn't see the notification or whatever. Because there's not many channels I'm getting shielded in a couple of Discord channels, but not a lot.
who's who,
I don't know if Blue has that set up in his.
who's got YouTube open?
Yeah, somebody's got YouTube open.
There you go. I just heard myself
You just heard yourself
again.
again. Who would that
Well,
be?
if it ain't you,
It's not me.
it's not me.
It's not me.
It's Blue.
Uh,
Right.
that's not Blue. Why would it be Blue? I know who it was.
Do you?
Uh, it's somebody. It can't be me because I'm muted here. I'm muted there. Everything's muted on my end.
I've got the live stream muted, and I dropped out of Discord to avoid all that shenanigans.
Yes, that does help.
I think
When I
it's
mute Discord, I can't hear you guys.
Uh, you're muted in Discord.
No, not right now. I'm not,
Yeah,
and I'm hearing me in Discord too.
you muted in Discord. I can see a little mute thing.
yes, so can I. But I can hear myself.
Oh wait,
Oh
yeah, I am.
wait, what? Okay.
Have you got the YouTube page open and unmuted?
No,
Oh. Okay.
Well, that's interesting because it's only me and Terry that
I've
are.
got the.
Yeah, mean I can hear it. I can hear something in the background from somewhere. Hmm. This is interesting.
Very strange.
Yeah, I can still hear
There
it.
we go. And Blue just echoed.
Blue just echoed, did he?
I'm gonna drop from Zoom and come back in.
Okay.
Okay. I'll drop from Discord.
Everybody drops.
Yeah, well, let's all drop, Farmer.
But I'm working fine, and there's no echo.
It's sneaky. Is audio something, Carl? What?
Yeah, audio is sneaky. Audio's a bugger.
It's not coming from anyone on our side. Oh, so YouTube weren't hearing it. What YouTube weren't hearing that echo? But we were getting it on our end.
Yeah.
So who's in Discord now? Blue's deafened and muted in Discord.
I'm not in Discord.
And you're not in Discord.
Correct.
just check the sound settings I've got for Discord, because I don't think it's me. Because I have voice meter aux output, voice meter aux input for when I'm live streaming, so that's normal on my end. Echo has
I
gone.
found it.
Okay, somebody speak. Who do you want to speak?
As I was going down the stair, I met a man who wasn't there.
Okay, we hear the echo, but nobody was lighting up.
Right, the echo's now gone.
Echo's now gone.
Don't do that, please.
Okay, I won't do that.
Don't copy what I said to make an echo. Whatever it was has now gone.
It was me.
Thought it was.
Well,
I'm not pointing fingers or anything, but it was you.
Yeah, we weren't pointing fingers.
After this stream is over with, I want to figure out how to pull voice meter out of my computer physically so I can chop it up with a hatchet.
That sounds about right.
I don't know. I don't think I'd want to do that to my banana.
Ooh, he's talking.
Deleting just would not be satisfying enough. I want to kill this motherfucker.
Are you using banana or potato?
I got banana.
Yeah, I'm fine with banana. It's been going all right for me.
Friggin' thing causes more trouble for me than it's not worth it.
Yeah, all I change to do things is in Discord. I'll tell it to go feed whatever I want it to feed through into there in Discord, and when I'm in, where else do I change? Yeah, I don't change anything else. Everything's the same. I've got Zoom set at a certain setting, and banana's set at a. I leave me banana. I don't touch me banana. Got me microphone going in as me microphone, and speakers out is headphones. That's all I have for there. And the voice meter aux runs everything else, and yeah, that's it. But at the moment, it's not doing that for some reason.
Well, what happens to me is I'll try. So something gets crossed up. I have to figure out exactly what it is, but I'll be trying to play a video, and the video player pops up and says, "I can't play it because something else is messing with your audio." Well, the something else that's messing with the audio is the damn voice meter.
Ah.
So if I go in and turn the damn thing off, which I had done yesterday when I was making the Brian Leakey video, that makes that problem go away. But then I forget to turn voice meter back on, and shit like Discord doesn't work anymore. Or Discord's working, but Zoom doesn't work. So I don't know. I'm gonna kill the damn thing with it.
Yeah, I'm just checking mine to make sure.
You guys still there?
Yeah,
we're still here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was just quiet for a sec. I was just checking me settings.
I was just my attention was grabbed by an article. They've dug up a World War II landing craft that was buried over here in the UK as part of flood defences, and they've dug this thing up, and things like the back hatch still sort of drops. It's not all rusted solid. It's in a remarkable state of preservation, actually.
That's weird.
It's one of those. It's what's called an LVT-4. It's a tracked. I think they also called it a water buffalo, or the buffalo, and it's a tracked vehicle. And apparently they had some going spare in 1947 out in the fens here, and so they buried some of these as like flood defences. And then after the floods went down, they just left them there. And these things have been buried since 1947.
Wow.
And they've dug one up. Yeah, it's quite something.
Okay, I'll have to check all that after when we drop to see what's going on. Unless I've got the wrong... No, that's not right. Okay. As long as there's no echo and everything on my end.
Oh,
Okay.
somebody's cutting the bloody grass.
What, at this time of day?
What? Caught the one? Oh shit, it's caught the one. I'm going to have to go soon. That means I ain't going to miss much of the show, because by the time I'm done, you'll have just got going, I suspect.
Yeah.
It's only supposed to take half an hour, so...
Oh, here we go. It popped up again, that thing. Don't show this again. It says click for details. Your PC's not... So I don't want to click for the details. Somebody said to leave it up and check the task manager while it's up. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't see bloody task manager now because the thing's in the middle of the screen. Background processes. It's not even showing up as a background process.
It's hitched a right in on something else.
Yeah. That's a mystery, that is. And it's not showing up even as an app. I don't like things I don't know about. Okay, it goes to it. If you click on it to get more information about it, it'll go to a Google page. PC App Store, McAfee. Buy now. And gives you all the details of buying, obviously, like a normal app store. Got down the bottom here, uninstall instructions. What that means.
Oh, is that what you get when you click for details?
Yeah, when you click on the middle bit for the details, it just goes straight to a web page. McAfee Total Protection, it gives you the thing to buy it now, all the prices, like a normal web page. Can I remove App Store from my system? No, I don't want to do that. If I remove, it might be this PC App Store. If I remove PC App Store from my PC, will I keep my purchased apps? Yes, you can also access your account. This might have been something when I got my printer thing for Windows.
Yeah. Very well could be, Terry.
That's what it sounds like. Okay. So it's called PC App Store. So I've got to get rid of that because that keeps bringing up this ad. Trying to figure out how do you access it. I'm going to have to work out how to do it. Okay. It's got the uninstall instructions, so I'll have to leave that open for now. I'll come back to that later. Alright, I'll minimize that. Now we've got a choice of blues video with brain bleak.
Right.
We've got tunes What did McToon do? McToon was talking with a Tim Osman. I've heard of that name before. And we've got a guy driving around in a car from Everett, Flat Earth Alien Demons.
Which Timmy Osmond is it? Because I think there are two, depending on spellings and.
Okay, well this is the one. Ozman. Yeah, I'll share it in here. That way you can see what that guy, Tim Osman, from IPS, whatever he is.
Oh yes, no, he's the flat earther because there's a Timmy Osman who is he's the chap who took all the photos at the Great Salt Lake, and he also went out there with one of the surveyors. That's just what sort of I thought. Oh, Tim Osman, which one is it? But I think this one is the full on flat earther one.
I think so.
I think so. Because I'm sure the other one doesn't spell it with a Z.
And Fred says, not more Brian. Well, that's Blue's video. Yeah, Brain Leak's painful.
I walked in on that yesterday in Jose's because I wasn't there from the start. I was doing something else and I thought, oh, bugger, Jose's streaming. So I jumped in and, of course, Brian's in full flow. And I think they were showing Blue's video and I thought, oh, I didn't even know Blue had done the video. I hadn't seen the bloody notification on that either. So it wasn't until it was all over. I went back and watched the video and thought, right, okay. I mean, it didn't take long to pick up what Brian was babbling on about. He do quite often need a translation service.
If he was able to finish a coherent sentence, it'd be interesting.
Well, the problem is he goes from 0 to wound up in a millisecond, and he's walking around outside on his phone because that's what he does. He's obviously one of these guys who can't sit still, so he's always on his phone, and he's shouting and hollering and screaming, and he's overloading the microphone on his phone. He's overloading my bloody headphones, and there's no way of turning him down. You know, you can turn down the volume of the whole thing, but that's it, and it gets painful. It really does get painful.
What are you talking about, on the YouTube or on the Discord?
It was well, this is one of the times that Jose didn't do it through Discord, so he was using Google Meets, I think.
Google Meets, yeah.
And you can't individually adjust people's volume. That's the great thing in Discord. You can go along and go, oh, he's a bit loud, I'll just turn him down.
Turn him down, yeah.
Or turn him off altogether. But you can't do it. And of course, you know what Brian's like. He just, obviously, the more he shouts and the louder he shouts, the more right he thinks he is. I don't know.
Well, I think Jose was having some random people showing up in Discord that he just preferred not to have live, on his show.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But you can fix that in Discord very easily. You can set up a room that requires permissions.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I've got in my Discord.
Just like Sensible does.
Yeah, like I've got. If you haven't got your Oz Squad role, you can't get into it.
Correct.
And I can drag people down there if they go into the normal chat room.
If you want to. Right. Yeah, you or a mod can put somebody down there.
Yeah, you can, Blue. You've got that power now.
Yeah. That's the way Jose can solve that, and continue operating in Discord, which is much nicer, just because you can control everybody's volume.
Yeah, don't forget Farmer Blue's your boss now as well.
Righto, boss. I've got no problems with that. I think if I ever upset you, then I must be going some. Blimey. Right, taking a look at the time, I need to sneak away. So I will drop out and rejoin you once I'm done.
Okay, you might catch brain leak by the time you have your conversation.
Oh, what again?
How long did you say your phone call could take?
Well, it's supposed to take about half an hour, but I just need to go and get myself sort of set up and ready and make sure my laptop's cooperating.
Yeah.
So I'm doing it downstairs because I didn't want to do it up here because the view behind me is quite distracting. Whereas down in the kitchen,
Yes, it is a bit.
yeah, where the laptop is in the kitchen, I've just got a plain wall behind me. So I thought, well, that's probably the better place to do it. But because they'll be constantly going, what's that behind you? What's all
Yeah,
that?
but what about
What's
the
this?
little kitty? Won't it jump up on the bench behind you?
No, because if I make sure all the cats are in the house, I just close the kitchen door, then they can't get in.
There's nothing
So
worse than
anyway,
that.
I will bail out and I'll see you in a bit.
Righto then, mate.
Okay then, mate. Have fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll press play on this and we'll play this for a little bit.
Maybe you could explain your position a little better for the audience.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. For one thing, the mass media has misrepresented the conspiracy theorists, which now they call you a conspiracist because they can throw racist into the word. It's nothing but smears from the mainstream media. And they want you to think that anyone who questions establishment science, from global warming to the claims of NASA, are somehow anti-science, religious nuts, and regressives. And I'm saying that no, you're actually in a religion and in a cult if you believe everything from establishment science without actually knowing why you believe it. So, I mean, there's followers on both sides. And I think that the way they've mischaracterized the flat earth topic has been intentional in order to throw people off so they don't actually think about what we're actually bringing up here, which I find many people don't. I find it very difficult to get staunch globe defenders to really take a real hard look at some of the questionable things, just a few of the things provided by NASA. And I'm not saying that if the moon landing was a hoax, the Earth is flat. I'm not making that argument. However, I think there are enough holes to be poked in the drama regarding the space program, global warming in general, that having complete faith in establishment science, I think, is a very culty way to think. And so, no, I don't think it's a religious question. I don't think it comes from the Bible. I think it comes from radical skepticism.
So what is this guy on about?
He almost sounds like a Witsit, but talks slower. Not far off.
Yeah.
He's he's got conspiracies in his tone, but I don't know where he's. We'll have to see what McToon can get out of him.
I think it's funny.
Yeah, he hadn't really.
Sorry.
He hasn't really stated his position very clearly as yet.
No.
I'm sure he's going to get there.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to watch the whole 2 hours of it, so we just have to sort of get
Right.
a little bit of it, and then we'll see if we can jump.
Oh yeah.
We have
yeah.
a
Who
flat
wants to
earther
hear
in the
that?
chat, effed up world, who is a biblical flat earther. If I'm right on that, if I'm wrong, effed up world, correct me. But he doesn't disagree that we went to the moon. And he thinks there are satellites in orbit but not orbiting. I don't know. But also that the Earth is flat. So it's kind of all over the place.
That's problematic for a few reasons.
No kidding.
For a few reasons, but okay, so yeah, the satellite thing, I understand that, but the moon thing, the moon landing itself, I'm suggesting is a major psychological operation, a hoax, and I don't think it was simply to trick the Russians. Because if it was a hoax, and maybe it wasn't, but if the moon landing was fake, it would imply that the Russians were in on it, that the space program itself is an international war against humanity itself. It's not separate countries and their space programs. Important to keep in mind, if they do have space wars, if China shoots down our space station, I'm suggesting it's rigged. It's not really anything other than, like I said, war. It's the elite consolidating their power. I don't believe that there's any real division above.
Who are the elite?
Well, when I say elite, okay, so I'm positing here that in order for the entire world to be under such a deception, it would imply you would have to have a controlling power elite that have a dominant influence over all media, entertainment, news, and especially over our perception of the world. And I think global warming alarmism is quite obviously a hoax. And I saw that as a hoax before I ever questioned anything else. So where are you on that, if you don't mind my asking, on the topic of anthropogenic global warming?
It is not my strength. So I don't have a strong opinion either way. It's hot here today, but I know that's not global warming. It was freaking cold in February, and I know that's not anti-global warming. So I know better than to get into something that I just can't address. So somebody told me today about this. Somebody said, "Hey, you should bring this person on." I looked at this person's channel. She was all about vaccines, and I'm like, it's not my topic. So
Sure,
yeah.
sure. Well, I wouldn't, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily go there either. I feel like that's a personal decision, and I think that too, it's a schism that they've injected into the whole topic anyway, that it's so perfectly polarized politically that I can't take it seriously. I tend to ignore that. But yeah, when it comes to the global warming topic, all I'm saying is that there is this claim that we're causing essentially a potential calamity, like a flood. And look at NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Look at their logo. You got the dove over the water, and compare it to the logo of Noah from the Bible with the dove and the olive branch in its mouth. The significance here is this. The old flood myth was, if you don't change your wicked ways, God's going to flood the world and wipe us all out. But the ones who are obedient to God get inside their ark. And then when the world has, when the waters recede, the dove shows up to tell Noah, you can go back. And I'm suggesting here that the global warming scenario is a modern flood myth. It's playing on old superstitions and fears, and that they've replaced the old religion for the modern atheist. So they still believe in an angry, vengeful God, but now the God that they believe might flood the world because of our wickedness, which is our fossil fuel usage, is the globe. I think that we're living in a massive doomsday cult. And that's why I think that the globe as a construct itself, I think, has been kind of turned into a replacement for God.
I don't know.
It always just, shocks me with McToon. He's always confounded with the statements they make, and then you think, where do I go? What can I say to this bloke? Because even with
Oh,
that global warming thing, I looked at that several years back, and I realised it from what I read, it's just climate change in the system. I know we might have had the ozone thing with all the CFCs and all that at one time, but I thought that was sort of fixing things a little bit. But I know pollution's out there, and the pollution levels even dropped from this COVID thing because there wasn't as much pollution getting in the air or something. That's what I heard about it as well.
sorry, man. I'm having a sneezing fit over here while I'm sitting on mute.
Yeah,
I don't blow everybody's.
I had that the other night, a sneezing fit. Sneezing and blowing me nose. That was last Saturday night. I had that problem. We'll do a bit of a jump because we'll see if we can get
Yeah.
into it. See if he gets into anything.
I remember, I know
Arc
rocket.
weld. I can do arc welding. That's what I do.
No, look, there's this idea out there that people who reject the globe are somehow coming from a place of abysmal ignorance, or they're really dumb, and there's some kind of cognitive error or flaw in them, or they're crazy. But the truth is, I've talked to crazy people, and you talk to any, and I don't mean to use the word crazy, but
I've
you
talked
talk to any,
crazy people.
you do, and most people who are legitimately ill in some way or something, um, are not going this, they're not even thinking about alternative cosmography. They're all globe believers. And for that matter, all of the, you know, terrorists and murderers and cannibals and bank robbers and thugs have all been globe believers, as far as I know. So you can't mischaracterize
There,
flat earthers as the
there've
bad.
been a few. There've been a few. The guy from the Biblical Flat Earth Society, he got himself in some trouble.
Yeah, there's been a few bad apples, but comparatively, flat earthers actually
I
have a
would
pretty clean slate.
I would ask maybe we look at percentages, but yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a large enough sampling. Maybe. Okay, but so we got Kyle Brostler says, "Oh man, he's deep into the conspiracy." But now you're not into the 5G or the magnet on the arm.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, the magnet on the arm test, yes, magnets stick to stupid people. No, I'm just kidding. I was making that joke because Twitter was just awash with a bunch of people who I think are crisis acting for TikTok views and Twitter views, where they're just like, look, the magnet's sticking to me. And no, there's really no correlation here. It's just grasping at straws, where the anti-vaxxers have gone from certain extremes to they're making these claims that now it's like you walk by your fridge and the fridge door is going to slam open and spill a beer on the floor. It's like, no, you're not magnetic. There's nothing you can inject that would make you magnetic. And if there was, the body mod people would already have figured it out. They would have
No
probably
kidding.
used. They'd be selling that as a thing.
Well, I had a guy on a little bit ago who has had magnets in him, like fingers, I think, or in here. He's like it's encased in something. You can feel it. So, all right. Robeep says, shout outs to Effed Up World. That's the flat earther that thinks we went to the moon. I think he's wrong, but damn if he isn't one of the most pleasant people. He is. Now, do you think that he might be controlled opposition?
No, but there is this phenomenon of, like they say, if you're not anti-racist, you're part of the problem. Like they have these ways of framing things, where it's like not everybody's controlled opposition, but if you go with the flow and you reinforce it, if you're not aggressively against the deception, then yeah, you're pretty much complicit, controlled opposition by default. Stooge. I wouldn't go so far as to say
So-
useful idiot, but
So maybe in that general category of Venn diagram where useful idiot would be in the middle, and then around it would be something other than useful idiot.
enablers.
Okay. All right.
Globe enablers. And look, this is the thing too.
But
I
all
don't
right, but
want-
you think, all right, so you think that people that aren't actively part of controlled opposition but are just going along with it are globe enablers, and I mean flat earthers that go along with the flat earthers that are controlled opposition. This is complicated, Tim.
No, it's really not. What I'm saying is that you have worldview warfare going on. You have the mainstream worldview, which is the one that comes out of the TV and doesn't get censored, the one that's going to be in Wikipedia and the history books, the one where everything's real and none of these things were psyops. Okay, that's the mainstream view. That's the worldview that most people share. Now, if you jump off that worldview, you find all kinds of distortions of it, where it's usually scarier. Like it's this plus chemtrails, this plus blood eating or blood drinking elite. So you have these other stories that I think are meant to scare people back into mainstream. And those would be the controlled opposition. Like Alex Jones, I consider him to be mainstream. What I really do, I consider him to be alt media, and he's just part of the mainstream apparatus. In other words, he's meant to exist in order to fill in a certain role. Like he's the boundary. What he says is the edge, and he vets it. If he doesn't go with anything that challenges establishment science, his listeners won't. He's a very solid gatekeeper who believes in the moon landing and everything else. He believes in the secret space program.
And he's controlled opposition.
I would say so, 100%. Alex Jones, here's why. He reinforces the idea of continuous false flags by these bad actors, and false flags as in Group A blows up this building and blames Group B for their own gain or whatever. And all these people died, but not for the reasons that the mainstream thinks. So I'm suggesting that that's actually controlled opposition. It's not the truth, because I think the truth is actually much further than that, which in my opinion, I'm just going to say this without, I don't want to get your channel in trouble. I don't want to ruffle any feathers here, but I'll say that 98% of the news is probably fake. It's not that they're false flags. It's that most of these events are literally fake, agitprop. And this is where I said that the question of the flat earth is really a question of, how much do you trust the worldview that you've been given, that's been curated for you? And I'm saying Alex Jones is part of the curation process. He's to keep you from straying too far.
I think I'm going to have to do a jump because I don't think this guy's going to be really getting into any meat. Or is it the meat and potatoes of whatever he's talking about? Or his narrative?
I don't think it's
Yeah.
unexpected though, because we know that because like I said, we can measure that the air pressure goes down dramatically with increasing elevation. So you don't need to get very high before there isn't a whole lot of air pressure to have air to obstruct the view of things.
Right, I get it. You get exactly. You're not dealing with the same thing as lateral distance. Now, what do you think of this notion? Someone ran this by me the other day. They believe that the U2 program was
The band.
no, yeah, the U2 footage from 70,000 feet. They have these high altitude footage.
Yeah.
This person on YouTube had compiled a lot of footage, and they were actually comparing it to the footage that you see from the space shuttles. And he was suggesting that NASA just appropriated the U2 program and then bent it a little bit and repurposed it and said this is from the space shuttle. So, what do you make of all
I
these
have
people?
seen that somewhere where somebody compared those two images from high altitude a high altitude flight plus the ISS footage or rocket footage or something. And I think it was just the camera.
Yeah.
I think it was just the way the camera was viewing it, and they compared the two. And if you looked at the land masses and the clouds and everything, you could see they were at different distances. That's what I noticed when I seen those two images.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen it before too. They're still flying U2s, a much later version of them, but they're flown for atmospheric research now.
Yeah.
I think.
What do they get up to? About
I'm not sure
70
who
something
operates.
thousand feet or whatever it is? Around here there?
I think they'll go closer to 80,000, between
Wow.
70 and 80,000.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I mean it was originally, of course, a spy plane, but nowadays it's used as a civilian research platform because it can get up above 98% of the Earth's atmosphere
Hmm. What's the Kármán line in feet? Because
or
I
something.
thought it was 100 kilometres in
Oh, and
kilometres. So I don't know what that is
the
in.
Kármán line in feet. I don't know. It depends on which Kármán line. Everybody's got their own idea what the Kármán line is, but around 300,000 feet, 300,000 to 350,000, somewhere in there.
Wow.
60 miles, I think, is where the U.S. Guys usually state 60 miles would be a little over 300,000 feet.
Yeah, because they made it at a set height to make somebody get their astronaut title or something, wasn't it? A certain pilot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what you have to do to claim to be one of those astronaut people.
People on YouTube who are, so skeptical that they're trying to reverse engineer how they made this stuff. Like, do you think that we're all crazy? What's going to break this? What's going to stop this, in your opinion?
I think you make a good point, a good case for everybody being crazy. It's here's what I think that the in general, not to just diss you, but I think in general the conspiracist process rather than the scientific method, the process is pick your conclusion, find things that support that conclusion, no matter how tenuous it might be, and try to wrap things around it. Number 3, ignore things that contradict your conclusion. And number 4, declare that your conclusion has been undeniably proven. So somebody saying the U2 footage is what they used for the space shuttle footage or the ISS footage, that's wrapping it around to get your desired conclusion, but it doesn't address the other things, like the ability for people to actually measure the elevation of the ISS independently, completely independent of anybody else. You can do it, anybody can do it who doesn't believe it. It doesn't
Right,
account
okay,
for all
okay.
of those things.
Well, look, I'm with you on this. I think the wrong direction to go with this is conferences and religiosity. I don't think building a community around this helped in any way. In fact, I think it set it back. But what
I would, when I first heard that there was a flat earth convention, I thought, well, wouldn't they do the same types of things that scientists do in conventions? Somebody brings up their work that they've done and the breakthrough and the newly published paper that got through the rigors of peer review. They're going to present it at the conference and move the entire thing forward. No, they don't do that. At the Flat Earth Convention in 2019 that I went to, they kicked me out, but it was just the people who have YouTube channels going and giving a in-person version of their YouTube video. That's all it was. And patting themselves on the back saying, we're so woke, we know the earth is flat.
Have you been inclined ever to go one of those flat Earth conventions, Blue, if that was near you?
I think I would, actually, just for a laugh. Just see how long it takes them to throw me out.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. See how long it takes you to get kicked out.
Yeah, I don't think it would take very long.
You've only got to probably ask one question.
Yeah.
You'd ask one question and they'd probably kick you out.
Yeah. I would go, just out of curiosity, just purely because I have a hard time understanding how anybody can think the way those people think. If you can call what they're doing thinking.
Yeah.
It was
right. That was a problem that I had with it in the beginning. Was I thought, well, you've got the attention. You could do something with this. Send somebody on a boat. And this is where I met up with the Daredevil, Mad Mike, who had this raccoon plan where he was taking this idea in a very fun way, I think, combining it with daredevilry to debunk it or prove it by taking a raccoon to the Kármán line, which was a legitimate attempt. I saw the craft, and it is a legitimate way to do it. Is it survivable? I don't know. But anyway, the Flat Earth Convention and community there did not want anything to do with that. In fact, they were against anyone talking about going to Antarctica, going to the 5 gateway cities. They were actually against the exploration in the sense that they were outgrouping. So I was the one who kind of consolidated the ones who were outgrouped by the biblical cultists who formed the convention. And they did not want anything to do with people who are challenging that, which is why I kind of think the conversation's gone nowhere. They took it into anti-science and into religion, which I don't think is the proper direction. Because like I said before, I do believe that mainstream science, and establishment media is the de facto religion of the day. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I do think that you have a religion, whether or not you know it.
It certainly does come that way. But the thing about science is that it can be independently verified and repeated, and if it's not repeatable, then it's not very well accepted. So for
when do
example,
we repeat the moon landing? When do we repeat that? It's been how many years now?
They went 6 times, but that wasn't just a science experiment. There's a bunch of things, right? But now if they go back here in a couple of years, then what are you going to say, right? You're just going to say it's fake. But
no, actually, that's the thing. If they go there, it's over with, clearly, right? Why haven't they just, if it's so easy to debunk these claims?
So easy. I don't know why it's
but I mean,
not easy to go to the moon. It's really
why
hard.
is it so difficult to why do you find it to be, like, for example, one of the new astronauts who went up to the space station, Victor Glover, he's already down, but when he was up there, he's sitting in the Dragon capsule and the window's right in front of him, and he brings out his phone so he can show us the globe. And I thought, okay, well, here's a guy who's got a smartphone. He's going to record the Earth, show us the ball suspended in space, and put this thing to rest with one tweet. And what he did is he put his camera out past the windowsill. He recorded a section of the globe, and then he flipped his phone around in a circle to make it look like a globe. And then when he put it back to his face and he said, "Words can't describe how beautiful it is," he was upside down in his camera. So I thought, they can't just give us an honest picture. There's always some kind of trickery, sleight of hand, and I want to see the whole ball floating in space. And again,
There's tons of them.
Yeah, there's heaps of them. The Himawari's the main
What is
one
wrong with
that you get.
What the hell's wrong with this guy?
Do you think
can't-
Do you
You
think
can't
the
get a
ice?
picture of the entire damn ball from low Earth orbit, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, the field of view's not enough. You've got to be a little bit further away. Oh, he thinks the ISS
From the
is the only place.
ISS,
Yeah.
from the altitude of the ISS, the most you see is 3 or 4% of the surface of the Earth.
Yeah. What's
This
that?
guy's an
400 kilometers up or something, isn't it? So I'm trying to remember it in kilometers that
250
way.
miles. Yeah, that's about 400 kilometers, 450 maybe, I don't know, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember it in kilometers.
And
so-
even there, I think you see less than 5% of the Earth's surface.
Yeah, I
done
think
math
I've seen
before.
an image where they're looking out one of the observation windows, and you don't see. You see the curve of the Earth, like most of the Earth, but you don't see the whole Earth. From what I've seen, the images I've seen.
There's
No, you're not
tons.
going to. You can't.
Yeah.
You got to be at much further away from the Earth to be able to see the entire thing.
Yeah.
There's so many of those pictures, but you won't accept them.
no, I want to see video. I want to see video of the
He wants to see a video.
Yeah, he wants to see a video. I mean, he wants a video of somebody making a picture of a video of the guy making the video. It just goes on and on. They won't shut up.
Earth floating in space with an astronaut with a selfie, where it's not cropped up, or they're not showing you a little bit here and then twisting the camera. It's always so difficult to get just a straight shot.
They do spacewalks all the time, and they video them. How are you? I mean, you ask for something and you're going to reject it.
I guess we should be more specific. I mean, I realize how, at the height that they're at, they can't show us the whole ball, blue ball style. They can't show us what Starman saw us, but I'm not satisfied with what they have been showing us with their handheld cameras. I think they could do a better job, and I've been goading them for this for a long time. They won't do it, and I think they've got something to hide.
Well, they've not heard you. I got to tell you, Tim. You haven't. You may have been goading them, but they've not received that goading. All right, let me.
I know what you mean. I mean, when I say me, I mean everyone here has been calling them on Twitter collectively. You know, it's like we're constantly watching their
They're not
uploads.
going to listen to
Okay,
people
look,
on Twitter.
There's a little bit of a tug from an invisible harness string. So
Well,
this
but-
guy,
What flat earthers think that they got the right for the people that are on the ISS and anyone else that's in that side to do their bidding of what they want. They're not doing it for the flat earth. They're doing it for, we've got our own reasons why they're doing it. They're not doing it for flat earth, that's for sure. Yeah, we're going to send a rocket up into space for the flat earthers with a camera. We're going to get a video shot of the earth for the flat earthers with yeah. Meeting over. I'd rather watch Lindsay. Sorry, Dora. Lindsay's not. I haven't got any Lindsays yet.
Yeah, the flat earthers actually, somehow or the other, they convince themselves that people actually care what they think or what they want. I don't care, and I'm quite certain NASA doesn't care. They can wish and want all they like. It's not going to make any difference to what NASA does or doesn't do, nor should it. Any more than it should make any difference to NASA what I want or what I'd like to see. My God, you can't. They got a job to do. They're going to do their job. They do it quite well. I'm perfectly happy with what comes back. I think the money's well spent. And I think these fools ought to just shut up. or fund a program to do it themselves.
Well, I think they should.
But
Skepticism
that's why there's
found
the 1 hour uncut video. Maybe that's why they did that.
Right, right. The 1 hour uncut video, which you accept as evidence, and this is why I brought up earlier the UFO footage from the ISS, because if we're going to accept their footage as evidence and it's real, it's not been tampered with.
That's like the example of that 24-hour sun video from the South Pole. They ask for that, and you show it to them, and they just reject it because of reasons.
Yeah, show it. You show it to them. They run it a little past, and then they loop it and show it again, and that's not good enough.
No.
That's no. Apparently, it's not just one full revolution of the sun. They want to see. I don't know what they want. The fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter what you show them; they're not going to accept it.
And even when the star trails were even able to be filmed, that was the other one that got me too. Because when I first started getting into, or started noticing this back a couple of years ago now, they were the few things that I'd noticed what was getting shown to the flat earthers was the 24-hour sun, the star trails, the ISS transit videos or rocket launches with video cameras on them. Because even back when the space shuttle, they had cameras on that, and that went up into space. But none of that was any good to them.
Well, a few years back, before I got into this flat Earth stuff, my thinking would have been a lot different than it is today. But watching the way they behave when it comes to anything is the exact reason why you've seen me refuse to accede to any demand or request on their on the part of a flat earther for Cavendish. I will not do it. If it was in my plans already, fine.
Especially the hoops they wanted you to jump through. Did
Yeah,
you have?
I-
Yeah.
if-
Did you
if
have?
I had plans-
You had all the magnetic things and.
If I have, yeah, if I had plans to do something anyway, I've gone ahead and done it. But just because one of those fools says, "Well, what about?" I don't know. I don't care. What about? I've got my program. Shut up. I'll do it my way. If you don't like that, you can do your own. Uh, I would not have had that attitude a few years ago, but you see what they do. And no matter what I did, I'm not going to play organ grinder monkey for them. I'm not going to do it. And they'll just run you in circles and continue to do that forever. They don't want the truth. They're not interested in the truth. They don't care anything about that. They only care. They only care about their idiotic concepts that don't work. They can't make them work, and they're never going to be able to make them work.
So when did we get the meaning of the word truth mixed up then with them? Because I keep hearing that word being
know.
thrown out. Oh, we got the truth. We have the truth. We know the truth. Yeah. What truth?
Oh yeah, you hear that out of them all the time. Yeah, we're the truth seekers. No, you're not. Last thing in the world you idiots are truth seekers. We show you the truth and you don't want anything to do with it. You run from it.
Stevie B
Dora,
says, I would like to see
they
Terry.
can't handle the truth.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah, I read that. I would like to see Terry start on time. But hey, we don't always get what we want. Laugh out loud.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I'll blame the notifications tonight, Stevie, because no one seemed to have known I was going live. But it's Wednesdays and Saturdays. How can you not know that? I could feel the force pulling me. Laugh out loud.
Somebody suggested earlier, I think an hour and 30 minutes into this McToon says something. If you want, I don't know if you're ready to skip ahead or.
Oh, just after
this guy's not saying anything.
Yeah, I will jump. Yeah. We'll just get through this little bit of it.
with, then whatever they show us should also be considered to be real, even if it shows UFOs. And so I'm curious to see
What
your
shows UFOs?
response to that UFO that followed the ISS for 26 minutes, because I don't think that you can be consistent intellectually and say you don't believe in UFOs after seeing this thing.
Seeing what thing?
I'm hoping it's ET.
And when it takes
ET.
off, it takes off with some kind of beam of light. It's not any kind of propulsion, so it's definitely not man-made. So either I think it's a PR stunt to convince us of Space Force, or it's to convince us.
Is this another example of a video or somebody's posted of something like the ferret that's on the thrusters, the boosted rockets,
Oh,
bubbles in space?
Who
The astronauts have got some sort of sling or wires to make them hang around. Yeah, okay.
nah, who knows? Who knows?
Carl,
I absolutely believe in UFOs.
you do.
I don't know a pilot anywhere that doesn't believe in UFOs. If you look out there, you see something and you can't identify what it is, guess what? That's a UFO, for God's sakes. I've seen hundreds of them.
Yeah, it's
Probably.
unidentified. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a UFO.
Yeah. If I knew what it was, it wouldn't be a UFO now, would it?
Yes, exactly. uh, sorry, I'm reading the peanut galleries. Carl said, "Get ready for some serious face palming." Spoiler alert, Carl.
Of UFOs, but I mean, I take it to be fake, and and if your standard of evidence is it comes from NASA, it's real, you're stuck with it.
Well, and it's one of many things. So let me ask you this: I measured the elevation of the sun to be from Minneapolis 3,105 miles. On local solar noon on the day of the equinox. Now, 12 hours later, I know how far I am from the sun, from the subsolar point 12 hours later. Okay. Not a whole lot of math to figure out the angular elevation of the sun above true level, which is 90 degrees from zenith. It would be about 20 degrees above true level just 12 hours later, but it had set 6 hours before that. That's what I mean when I say the sun could never set if the earth were flat. You can test that yourself. The sun sets every day. How does the sun set?
I see what you're saying there. Interesting point. I would like to see that, but I am also of the opinion here that if this flat earth thing is real, it would have to rule out light years, for example, and all these vast distances.
Stay on this though. How does the sun set?
So I mean,
because you can't have been in flat earth for as long as you've been in flat earth and not have thought about how the sun sets.
Oh no, I have. I still do. I mean, I don't say unequivocally I know, and it's obviously it's very problematic to just say, you know, it's 3,000 miles and it's just going out of your range of view. And there's a lot of questions that I don't have answers to.
Out of view.
Say precisely. I know it's this high. It would have been
this simple. Here it is at noon, local solar noon. Here it is 12 hours later. This angle is still positive. It never goes negative. That angle is always positive. The sun could never set, yet it does every day.
I'll have to see a copy of that diagram for myself up close.
This diagram?
No, I'm just kidding. No, okay, look, I'm gonna follow up with a few things here, specifically with your ISS thing, but I want you to follow up with the UFO trailing the ISS, because I ultimately think that we're dealing with a question of hypermediation and people divorced from reality, and it may not just be people that you think are the ones who are totally off base here. Like, I do think the flat earthers have a point, even if they're wrong about.
Haven't figured out his position yet.
I think that there is a point here.
He's all over the place.
Major league glitches and very poor explanations for these glitches, and all you get is ridicule, and that's not going to chase people away. You know, you can laugh and mock at the green screen glitches in the space station or minimize them, but I think it's an important component. And it's not just the space station; it's even the private agencies and what they're doing. There are indications that they're playing tricks on us. I mean, the thing I said about the celestial immunity and the space station getting vaxxed, that's just one example of many things that I consider to be inside jokes. But I guess we're going to have to disagree on pretty much most of these things because you trust these things, these institutions.
I can title him as a speculative conspiracist without a narrative that supports his position. That's all I can sort of think of.
I trust nobody to measure the angle of the sun. I just trusted myself to do that.
Right.
And I trusted myself when I looked outside and saw 12 hours later that the sun wasn't 20 some degrees above true level.
Have you seen the ISS with your own eyes? Have you done that yet?
No.
Why not?
It's not my claim.
It's not your
more
claim.
times than I care to remember.
Unless you've tracked it with a telescope with an equatorial mount to follow it across the sky, which would be hard because it does go pretty fast.
I'm telling you now, it's not an aircraft. I know what an aircraft looks like crossing the sky at night, and that ain't it. Oh, that's a shame. I don't get to see it again until 3 minutes past 4 in the AM on Wednesday, June the 30th. Stop that. I ain't getting up to watch that.
And if it's not cloudy.
Yeah, but like I said, I've seen it so many times. You now get to the point, you walk outside, you think, oh yeah, I'll go and have a look, it's a bright one. You watch it for a minute or two and you think, yep, that's not going on some. Right, what was I doing? Because it does. There are certain times a year, it just comes over England, or you can see it from here so clearly, so many times, it's like, it's the ISS. You know.
But it's predictable. You can look it up.
Like I said, I can go to my app. The next sighting within, I haven't got anything within 10 days. My next sighting is Wednesday, June the 30th at 3 minutes past 4 in the AM. And I can tell you now that I won't see it at 3 minutes past 4 because there are houses and trees in the way. But at about 4 minutes past, I should be able to see it.
And it'll be in the sun. It'll go into the shadow, or come out of the shadow into the sunlight, will it? Is that the path it takes?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And on some occasions, I've seen it twice in one night, and it is, strangely enough, 90-ish minutes apart. And the first time I saw that, the first viewing was really bright. It was really catching the sunlight, and it was like, wow, that's quite something. Go out there 90 minutes later, it's not the same orbital track. It's moved a little bit. It's dimmer, and as it got, from my point of view, pretty much above my house, it faded out of view. Why is that? Because it dropped into Earth's shadow. Yeah. And that was pretty cool. That's quite something to watch the ISS and then just watch it disappear. But it's all fake and it's a hologram. Or it's a converted B-2 bomber, or it's a balloon, or it's a drone, or any such other bullshit story we've heard.
I don't look to that as proof that the Earth is any particular shape.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Okay, that's gotcha. Red's rhetoric. That's his deal. He loves that, right? He's done a ton of that. That's not my. So, like how many times can somebody do? He's done that. I'll do something else. I've done other things. So.
No, I got it.
I don't bring it up. Now, I only brought it up because you brought it up, right?
I got you. Like, you can't answer for NASA, I understand, nor can Reds answer for them. We're all looking at the same material. Now, where do you think this goes, in your opinion? How much longer can this last? Why do you think it's going on? Do you think that you've solved every major question here?
I think that when enough people have gone on space tourism trips, right? It's becoming, in the next years, it's happening, right? 8 people have paid to go to space so far. Another one is in the works right now. There's talks about Tom Cruise and his director going. I don't know. Who knows if that'll happen. For a movie. But there's 3.
But even if this eventuates with the space tourism thing, like he's getting to the point of the more people um, are able to be, what's the word for it? Testify that space is real and the Earth's a globe and stuff. But
Oh
even
yeah.
on even the on Earth, where we've gone to Antarctica and gone around the world and done north-south um, circumnavigations, and they're all things that have been done. So
Well,
going to space is another thing that they're going to try to say that
It won't
these
change
people were
anything.
brainwashed, or they'll come up with some crap.
everything that you've just listed, except going to space, because we haven't quite got to regular commercial space flights yet, although we're bloody close, and it's still
Mm.
going to be damn expensive. But everything else you've mentioned, they could go and prove or disprove for themselves, and it wouldn't take an awful lot. If the likes of Oakley can fleece his followers out of money. Not only for his car, but then repairs to his car and everything else, and an iPad. I mean, he's had thousands of pounds out of his followers.
Mm.
These people could drum up enough money to go to the bloody South Pole. They could go to Antarctica. They could pay. They could buy the ticket for a bloody cruise. You could take a cruise to the South Pole. You could actually go to the South Pole.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, they won't do that. Why won't they do that? Because they know what the truth is, and it ain't the shit they're spouting. Sorry.
That's right.
Space tourism,
go on.
space tourism is not going to change a damn thing. It will make absolutely not 1 ounce of difference to these people.
No, I don't think it will.
Unless and until however many hundreds of years from now that may be, when the average guy that works at Walmart can afford a ticket to take a trip into space, that'll be the only time that it would shut them up. But at this point in time, these are still the elite. You're talking about tens of millions of dollars to get a ride
Yes.
to the ISS and back. And that these people are just going to simply hand wave dismiss no matter what, no matter who it is. It doesn't make any difference. I don't think that's going to change anything.
No, and I think even now, some of these people, if you were able to get them up into, say, a suborbital flight, they're going to say, "Oh, that wasn't a window I was looking out of. That's a screen. That's all CGI. I wasn't really seeing the curvature of the Earth. In fact, I don't even know that I've left the Earth. Because that's how fundamental their denial of reality is. You've only got to listen to the likes of Chemos and all of them sort of saying Earth curvature has never been measured. Oh, really? Really? So what have these surveys been doing these last few hundred years, if not actually measuring the Earth and going, oh, look, it's curved?
But don't you see a bit of a theme there with people like Chemo, where he does bring up the things like those statements?
I think it's all I think it's all just a performance. It's just an act.
Because he'll only bring up the statements that we know we'll get a bite out of us to respond to, say, for what has been done. He'll bring it up as what we haven't done. We haven't been to space, or we haven't been to the moon, or we haven't been to the South Pole, or he'll say those sort of things.
Your best defense against people like that is just to ignore them. But people don't. People will rise and take the bait. If he comes in and starts spouting that nonsense, your best bet is just to ignore him. Turn the volume down and pretend he's not there. Because he's not even reading off a script because it's memorized. They all are. They can, because they've said it so many times, they can just rattle it off.
Companies that are working on it right now, and they're kind of in this race to get it, and it's going to be only millionaires at first, but once there's a lot of people that have gone to space and people know 6 degrees of separation, once you're 2 degrees of separation away from somebody that's been to space, and when most people in the first world are that far away from somebody that's been to space, then when flat earthers say, hey, did you know the Earth is flat? Somebody can say, yeah, well, my uncle just came back from space, so I don't think so.
Right. So in
that's
other words,
where it's going. That's when flat Earth will not get any new adherents. I don't think that this will convince the religious ones.
Interesting.
I don't know what you might think of that. If you met 6 people that you knew well enough that said, I've been to space, Tim, it's not flat.
Well, I talked to a guy named Mark Gold, who's a Scotsman, huge fan of Star Trek, and he got tired of debating flat earthers, and he put out a GoFundMe, which went viral for a minute, and he's trying to get a ticket to Virgin Galactic. And he opened up the seat to a flat earth, credible witness to flat earthers. And he asked me to find somebody that everyone would trust so they could look out the window and be that set of eyes that they would find to be trustworthy. And so I think I reached out to Jake Gibson, the flat earth a-hole, and I think he said he would do it. Quincy Carr, who's a pilot and a flat earther, said he would go. So I put that out there.
Wait. What kind of pilot is he?
Quincy Carr is a flight instructor. You can look him up. Quincy, he calls into my live stream here and there. And okay, you might want to talk to him. In fact, I could probably get you his number.
Absolutely. I've been trying to get a pilot on.
Oh yeah, tell him that
pilot,
I recommended that you speak.
Those two words just don't go together, do they, Blue?
Also be willing to take that particular trip. It's suborbital. But
yeah,
again, no, I mean, you can only move goalposts so far when it comes to this thing. But my contention, which is kind of dark, is that it's, I almost don't want to say it, where I think this is going. I mean, when I look at the whole Martian program, I see a lot of what I think is just dangerous utopianism. And I look at the idea of sustainability and what that means. And to me, the space program is more or less a nightmare. It's the green world order. It's all the environmentalists' dreams come true, permanent lockdowns to save the Earth.
I don't think the environmentalists particularly like space exploration. It's not very green.
Well, that's a good point. They don't like the money being spent out there, but actually, no. Even Bezos says that we need to lock down the Earth, free civilization, to prevent the Earth from getting worse, and then we can go exploit other places. That it's a necessity to save the planet. But the environmentalists, of course, like Greta and Bill, are against Musk because of his capitalist leanings. But I don't think it's in principle, and I think they want to make Earth more like the way space is going to be. They want to realize that idealism down here with sustainability. I think that's where we're headed. But anyway, my opinion about where the space age is going isn't all that relevant here, other than I think it's a massive gulag system. And I wouldn't be entirely shocked if all these Hyperloop systems that Virgin Galactic and SpaceX are doing with, or Boring Company, I wouldn't be shocked if I found out that these Hyperloop systems weren't in fact tunnels to simulate space travel to send people to subterranean Mars bases. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if such a thing existed, just based on
how would tunnels simulate space?
Easy. Have you seen the new Virgin Galactic Hyperloop tunnel system? They even do a countdown. I think
it's not Virgin Galactic. That's a different company.
Well, Virgin Galactic also has Hyperloop. Stephen Branson's company. I know it's not Virgin Galactic, but Stephen Branson's Hyperloop company. They did this test run, and I'm just suggesting that no, actually, I think it'd be easy to fake space travel. Disney does it all the time, and I think that this would be the perfect.
But how do you simulate weightlessness?
Yeah.
Well, they take all the air out of the tunnel.
Ooh.
I mean, read how they do these Hyperloops, and I think it's very.
That doesn't make you
vacuum.
weightless.
No, but it would simulate the trip to this other place. That's what I'm.
But how do you simulate? How
you can't simulate weightlessness
though?
in a gravity.
Well, simulating weightlessness. Again, I'm talking about simulating just the travel from point A to point B.
Unless we've invented a new anti-gravity machine or something that I don't know about.
I think that when they actually
If they have, we don't know about
it's
it.
going to probably be like it is right now. Harnesses, green screens, probably better CGI.
There's a little Sean G out in the little person. He's only a small time YouTuber. We don't hear from him much these days, but he said he finally made it. Well, you can,
Are you being sizist?
Yeah, you can join the team, Sean, if you go to my Discord and join the link.
There's several other people have pointed out it's Richard Branson.
Yes.
Not Stephen Branson. I don't know who Stephen Branson is.
Oh, Stephen Branson. Yeah, I'd never heard of a Stephen Branson.
People can't be fooled by that. Here, put this harness on. You will still feel gravity.
No, I'm saying when they ship people off to the Mars gulags deep underground, it won't matter. I think once you sign your ticket, I mean, this is just hypothetical, but
Gulag.
I think it's
I
more
like the
likely
words
What
you
the
use.
that you
what?
have Mars. Look, more
Mars
likely.
gulags? What are you talking about?
He's laughing.
Okay, I'm looking
Gulag.
at the Mars base,
What's a
right?
gulag?
The Mars base itself is an
Prison.
enclosed system. I think it's a nightmarish vision. I think it looks like a commune. So if anything, if you're going to Mars, it's a one-way
Commune or a
trip.
gulag?
No more private property. You lose
Isn't
all
that
concept
German
of
for
freedom and
something like a
travel.
prison?
I think it's an inversion of the
Yeah,
way we
but-
live
No,
now.
it's
But
And
how
I'm
do you
it's
suggest-
Russian.
how would you
Oh,
fake
Russian.
that to a person? It takes months
yeah.
to get there.
Yeah,
Well, I
Sean
think
the
G's
way they're
got
gonna- and you're
the
waitlist for
special
months.
key to the
I think the way
Discord
they're
if
going
he
to
ever
fake
wanted,
this
if
is
he
actually
wanted to
using the
join the
celestial
panel.
autobahn
He's
space
welcome to join.
manifolds. If you've looked into,
Yeah.
this is not me. This is what I have found in just regular research. They're talking about accelerating space travel with what they call the celestial autobahn, where it's more of an arc. They call it an arc of chaos. So the experience of deep space travel will be more like a straight trajectory, extremely fast
he's a
and
peanut
short
now,
to your
Dora.
destination. We're not talking about old school Star Trek style travel.
What? Star Trek is not old school. That's futuristic. They,
Futuristic. I mean,
in Star Trek, they travel within a solar system in just minutes.
okay, well then, I'm sorry. It'd be more like Star Trek then, not like what we're doing now, where it's long. It definitely like not like warp speed, but they call them celestial autobahns. Look them up. These arcs of chaos
What?
to take us across the solar system in seconds. And I'm saying, read the description of the arcs of chaos, the space manifolds that they use to zip you across the galaxy, and it would feel exactly like a hyperloop.
I don't think anybody is suggesting these exist. I think it's just like
Where does he get this from?
Actually, no. These are, well,
What?
fantasy
Yeah.
ideas. It's funny you say that. I mean, how much of outer space didn't just straight up emerge out of science fiction anyway? And I kind of think there's a place where the two blur. And when we're dealing with these types of ideas, I think that if they can get the public to believe it, they will make it happen. And that's where I think this is going. Now, I have no way to substantiate it, but that is where I think it's going.
Exactly.
It's a personal theory. I think that's more likely, that they will simulate space
That's
travel and dump people
opinions.
underground into
Ah,
communes before they send people
they're a
millions of
pile of
miles away.
speculation, Boomer.
wow, you
Right.
went full.
Hey,
full
Boomer, if
Q
you're
found out
there.
what
sub,
you're
if
talking
you're
about.
sub
Let's
to my
not get into
channel,
that.
you can get a
Hey, Q's,
spanner.
hey, Q's on your side. Q says the Earth is not flat and that there is a space force and they've got technology that we haven't dreamed on. So actually, Q's on your side.
Space Force. I have the. I went to I was in Texas in March, and I went to a Army surplus place, and I'm like, hey, you got any Space Force stuff? And all they had was this. So, all right, let me read a couple more things here. 'Cause
Okay. We'll do another little
I just
jump.
I just found out what he's on about. They're not arcs of chaos; they're called arches of chaos. And I just found an article that came out last year. They have discovered a vast network of invisible energy structures in the solar system, a celestial superhighway that future space probes might use to explore faraway corners of solar space. These things are called manifolds, and they emerge in space-time due to the gravitational interaction of massive objects like the planets. That's what he's on about. And this is only a recently discovered thing, like within the last few years.
So not like wormholes then, something different.
No,
Okay.
something different.
M2M's got it right. Gibberish.
There's a bit in the fourth Blackadder series when Baldric has been told only to respond when told to, and General Melchett is saying something, and Blackadder says, "Okay, you can respond." He says, "Sorry, I can't." He's talking complete gobbledygook. Gobbledygook, and that's what this guy's coming out with, utter gobbledygook.
Sean must have slept in. He said he just woke up.
I'm trying to work out what his local time is.
I just looked at my local thing and it says it's 8:51 East Coast.
Yeah, but Sean's on the West Coast.
Yes,
wait a minute,
exactly.
Sean's-
Oh,
he's-
is he?
he's even-
I thought he was
He's
on
even
the
more hours.
He's on the West Coast.
Yeah, he's in Texas, so I think it would be 7:51 for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bless him. He's just having breakfast.
What's for breakfast, Sean?
Whereas here it's nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. You were quick with your phone call. It just felt like a blink of an eye, and you were back again.
That was half an hour.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and it was actually it was a job interview in Microsoft Team. But it was very
Ooh.
strange because one guy was on camera and the other one wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah, he's working from home. He says his webcam's crap.
So how many
And
job
I was
interviews?
start-
How many job interviews you had in the last few weeks?
Couple. It's a bit. It's a struggle.
Slim pickings, you mean?
Yeah, it is a bit because, well, like I just explained to them, I've sort of fallen between the cracks a little bit as to my work experience, what have you. But no, it all seemed to go very well. So now I've just got that annoying bit of waiting to hear.
Yeah, well, you just don't be like me. When I hit over 50, I started going downhill with the job search side of it.
Yeah, it's tricky because, yeah, once you realise you're over 50 and you think, hang on, people are looking at you now and going, no, far, we'll get somebody younger. Yeah, but you get somebody younger, they ain't got 33 years experience. Boom, boom.
Yeah, but the younger ones don't seem to understand life experiences. It's just as good as experience in other ways.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do another big jump, and I don't know what.
Sure, G. Farmers is here. I thought that was Druss.
I don't know how people get used too mixed up.
He's
I
hope he's taking the piss.
Maybe he's taking the piss.
He better be.
Well, we could get Druss here.
Druss
That'll
would be
really
proud,
confuse
but
people.
I think Farmers is pissed.
Where is Druss? I'll drag him from Gems.
I was going to say, he'll be pontificating in Gems, won't he? Or he'll be getting muted by chemo.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Every time I see him
Poor
muted,
old boy, he only has to say 2 words and chemo mutes him.
every time I see him muted, I feel like saying to chemo, "Did you mute Druss again?" No, he's not over there at the moment.
No. He could actually be like working and stuff.
Yeah.
Or out on his bike, and I don't blame him. It's a glorious day out there. There's not a cloud in the sky.
Well, that's what you could have done. Went for a quick squirt on your bike in the afternoon.
I've still got plenty of time. It's only coming up to 2 o'clock, and at the moment, it's 23 degrees.
That's warm.
It's going to be warm all week.
Yeah.
We've got some decent weather.
Yeah, it got to nearly single digits here one night, a couple of nights back. It's not too bad tonight, but
No, it's a problem. It does. At night, the temperature don't drop that much either. It's still in double figures, and I hate that.
Dart's saying driverhirejobs.com. Driver hire. You don't want to. You're not want to look for be a driver.
No.
That's not your
No,
field.
this one is sort of connected to cars. It's a place that does lots and lots of automotive testing, and they have test tracks and things. But this is actually for a project that's somewhere in Eastern Europe, but we're doing all of the design work over here. So
We'll jump towards the end because I think. Does McTurn just read super chats or anything at the end like some do?
yeah, well, I think he's obliged to, aren't you? I mean, if somebody pays you money for a super chat, you got to read it.
Yeah. I think he's reading super chats here.
Yeah, I do tend to avoid the drama and trolling, but it happens.
I don't like the drama.
There you go, Geist View. Indy Tiger says yo-yo D-spin device didn't Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a half century retrieve that from Marvin the Martian. The yo-yo D-spin, I think he did. Toby for €5 says, Tim Osmond, what happened to you that made you the way it did? Why overthink unnecessary things so much? Don't you just want to enjoy life in a simple way?
I can understand that. I was watching a Netflix series called Dark Matter. It's all science fiction. We watched them all back to back, binge watched, and I actually really did enjoy it. I do like science fiction, and if this whole thing were real, heliocentrism, the ball, I love it. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I don't agree with the idea that the heliocentric system means that man is insignificant, that we're just a meaningless thing in a giant cosmos that is full of chaos and nothing matters. Like, I don't agree with that. I think it's sublimely beautiful if it is indeed the way it's been described by mainstream science and the way it's portrayed in the movies and comics and all that stuff. I just don't happen to believe it right now. But nothing happened to me. I wasn't hit on the head or anything. And if you showed me the right piece of evidence, I would be in complete agreement with you on everything else.
Sure. Okay. Paddle Silver First says paranoia.
Oh, we'll leave it there then.
Yeah.
We got an idea. You missed out on the other bit, Farmer, but it doesn't matter.
Somehow I suspect I didn't actually miss out per se.
Sean G saying, but you are a farmer. No, you're a farmer's boy. There's a difference.
Because I know a lot about farming, that automatically makes me a farmer.
farmer,
You know,
yeah,
I can't remember the last time I drove a tractor. I might have been 14 or 15. I can't remember.
Or milked a cow.
No, we never had cows.
Oh, do you have bulls?
No. Dad used to keep pigs, but I think he got rid of them, well, I don't know, 78, 79. I weren't very old. And it was purely arable after that, so it was just crops.
Oh, okay.
And all my schoolmates used to be disappointed. They'd come over to see me at the farm and go, "This ain't a proper farm, where are all the animals?" It's not a proper farm. I said, "We got some cats and some chickens."
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to have chickens.
Oh yeah, we had chickens for a while. Yeah, that was one of my jobs for school. Just pop out and see if there are any eggs.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Well, we had chickens when I was growing up, but we didn't live on a farm.
Mm.
Just on the little quarter-acre block with a little chicken pen out the back.
But you see, most people have got this very old-fashioned traditional view of a farm, that there are pigs and sheep and cows and horses and goats and chickens and ducks and everything else. And it's like, no, don't believe what you see on the bloody telly. That's not how it works. Oh dear.
What's this, Dora? Maybe 20s from this McToon. What?
20 seconds from this MC2 at 0304. Right, so she's giving you a timestamp of 3 minutes and 4 seconds, and she reckons there's 20 seconds worth.
This is not this video.
I don't know. I haven't clicked it to see what it is.
Sean G says you can milk a cat.
Can you? You're a braver man than I. I'm having enough trouble just trying to trim her back paw nails because they're getting too long. Oh, I want to try bloody milking her. Christ. I'm quite attached to my skin.
Oh, I lost the chat. I have to get it back again. Oh, bugger.
Oh dear.
We could always drop into Gems and listen to see what's going on down there.
Oh, yeah, look, you've been there before. You've already heard it, haven't you?
Yeah, I know. Heard it all before.
Yes, several times a day sometimes. Anyway, Sean, thank you very much. You always make me laugh, and I appreciate that. I'm not a bloody farmer. Never have been.
All right. Then.
There's no money in it.
What else have we got going?
Did I miss Mr. Leakey?
No, you haven't. I saved Mr. Leakey for you.
You bugger. I might have to go make some more phone calls. Tell me when he's coming.
You going for another job interview?
Come on, man.
Oh, Winston gets it's down there.
Yeah, he can bloody well stay there. He goes in, I come out. I tell you, I ain't listening to that but Christ.
I agree with that. I'm not listening to that idiot.
No. I can't understand any word he says.
I think there was a point yesterday, I think it was my evening, I can't remember exactly when we'd got Chemo was in full flow, Lemon came in, and then Witsit came in, and I just thought, nope, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm just going to go stare at the wall or something. Just no. When you got those three together, I mean, ye gods. Yeah, Witsit's just no. I'd rather go and watch the grass grow. To be honest.
Yeah. Okay, so we can get rid of McToon. Open that up and move that over. Oh, the 5G scam. Yeah, Alan was reading in that McToon
Yeah,
one.
I noticed that because I had to put a little comment of just Alan, because it started reading. I thought, hang on, that's Alan. McToon had obviously just got him to read stuff or something because he's obviously not connected with the group of people he was reading their stuff out for. I certainly hope not.
So 304. Okay. Is this where Alan's... Don't know. I know I went through it with Alan the other night.
Yeah, he read a couple of bits.
We are groups of individuals nationwide, including doctors, scientists, and engineers, supported by a strong team of lawyers headed by Michael Mansfield QC. We have joined forces to commence legal proceedings to challenge the UK government's failure to take sufficient notice of clearly identified health and safety risks of wireless radiation and the increased exposure from the deployment of 5G.
Well, just about everything in this statement appears to be false. Let's start with the claim that the team of lawyers is being headed by Michael Mansfield.
So Alan read all that out and it was false. I'm going to tell Alan that he was telling lies.
Yeah, I presume MC Toon had just asked him to read it out or something.
Yeah, he did. He had a couple of scripts for him to read out. He sent him back about 3 copies of each script to pick from.
Oh, right. Because I started watching this, and as soon as he started talking, I thought, hang on, that's Alan. He's not connected with this, surely. I thought, oh, he must just be doing it as a favour for MC Toon. Please let him just be doing it, I thought he can't be connected with any of this nonsense, given Alan's background,
Gary's saying, good Flat Earth Day to all. And who mentioned Flat Earth?
Oh, it's Mr. Why Benga. Sorry, slip of the tongue.
Yeah, I know. Some people's names have just got that thing to it where you can the name just doesn't.
What you mean? They lend themselves
like Brain Leak and Lemon Turd and.
Brain Leak is such a natural one. Brian Brain and given the individual, Brain Leak.
What has somebody given Brian Mabbits?
Muppet.
Brian Muppet. Okay.
He automatically became Muppet. I mean, Mabbit to Muppet is not a huge jump, and when you listen to him for any more than 20 seconds, Muppet suits him.
And Witsit doesn't get it. I think that one happened for him.
I don't know whether some of them are actually using irony. I mean, what does Bev call himself? Bev try thinking. Yeah, give it a go.
That's a great idea, Bill.
Yeah,
give it a go. Try thinking.
Yeah, try it.
I don't know whether he was just doing that to be ironic or whether that just completely passed over the top of his head. Oh dear.
Okay, you can't butcher up my last name more than it's been throughout my life. Laugh out loud. Okay.
Yeah, well, my actual surname, I've seen it spelt so many different ways. It's like, what, really?
Oh, because Wybanga could be why banger.
I suppose, I suppose there are probably quite a few combinations, isn't there? I don't know. And of course, you'll hear all that when you're at school because there's nothing crueler than a group of school kids.
Yeah, they'll muck your name up. That's for sure. If they can get a dirty type thing out of it, they'll try.
Or if they can just get a rise out of you, that's enough.
Yeah. The swear jar sounds very painful, if that's what it's supposed to be.
But the sear jar sounds even more painful.
Yeah, it does. I think that's supposed to be
Ooh,
swear
sear
jar.
that.
Yeah, I don't mind you swearing. You just got to pay for the swear jar. Okay. I'll play Everett's one. We'll leave unless you just want me to pull the band-aid off Brain Leak.
No. I keep the. I think keep the worst for last. So not the best.
Okay.
You know what I mean.
Okay. I'll play Everett one with his flatter alien demons, whatever it is. I think I've got this just at the right time.
And notice where he's put his he's obviously using his phone. Notice where he must have actually put his phone.
Oh, this bloke.
Yeah. You watch it and work out where his phone actually is.
On the speedo.
Yeah, he's got it covering up the instruments. Now, I'm assuming he's probably got it over the rev counter and not the speedo. But I mean, what a stupid bloody place to put your phone.
Well, if it fits there, it'll stay there if it doesn't accelerate too quick.
Okay. Watch the video.
Terry missed it on both lanes. What? What? Oh, God, no. Sometimes they're cryptic, these peanuts.
I'm not very good at cryptic crosswords.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when I got up this morning, I, was checking the news real quick. Just checking the mainstream lying headlines, and noticed there was an article, of course, another article about aliens or UFOs, where it's from the New York Post that Obama said, I just don't know what they are. BS, dude. You know exactly what they are. This crap's been going on with the people in the government knowing about this since the 40s. Eisenhower had a treaty with them. They're not aliens from another planet or a galaxy or whatever. They're interdimensional and they're already here. They've been here.
I am Beldar, this is Private Connie. I trust we have arrived at the pre-designated time coordinates.
There's more land to this place.
Sketches,
there's some of them that are underground. There's even FBI documents that back all this up that were declassified. That's exactly what these things are, man. They're fallen angels and they're interdimensional demonic demons.
The name is Conehead. We come from France. Oh, France. Well, that explains everything.
I don't know. People or whatever, maybe on the other land that's here, but I can tell you this: there's more land to this place than what we're led to believe.
Whoops.
They were doing
these
satanic rituals, and they punched a hole in the space-time continuum. Basically, what CERN does, and they started getting contact with these things.
Sebthorg, one of the 10 protoids, self-reproducing fuel source used in our early star cruisers.
In France.
Shortly after they did that, people were reporting paranormal activity like all over the place. I'm talking like law enforcement documentation, like all this stuff is backed up with documents. And, you've seen how the narrative has changed within not only the mainstream, but the government regarding UFOs and aliens. I even think there could be a narrative
the blinker
in there
stalk's
that's
on the wrong
coming
side
that
of
we're
the
gonna have
steering
this
wheel,
good
farmer.
alien, bad alien crap, where this other, race up and saves us. You know what I'm saying?
Name a famous explorer. Zythron the Insistent.
Which really they're all
I'm trying to remember what side it is online.
Because it's all about keeping people away from the truth, keeping people away from Jesus.
Well, it's the
keeping
German
people away
car
from
to be
God.
on the left side, wouldn't
The
it?
biggest holiday of the year.
The moons of Mizar.
Like there's these Nordics that are really tall. And
I
then
think
you have
over here in the
Greys
UK, they
and,
tend to make sure that all
A
ways on the
place you
same
keep your
side.
valuables.
In a Muldroth ion field.
you know, supposedly there's other races at these things, but you know, under our feet in these DUMBs, these deep underground military bases.
A mode of transportation.
The foam shoe.
It's amazing.
Something you eat with eggs.
Fiberglass.
Like,
I mean,
just how much we've been lied to about.
I was too much watching the Conehead part of worrying about what he was saying. What he was saying.
now I believe that's the original sketch that they did on. I don't know whether that was Saturday Night Live.
Night
but
Live.
Of course,
It was
they
a Saturday
did
night
a
thing.
film, didn't they? They actually did a Coneheads movie, but I think
Yeah.
that was the. And of course, that bit, a lot of people, including Everett, use all the time when she sits and goes, "Oh, that explains it." I don't know how many times I've watched that little bit of clip.
Sean, we drive on the right, the correct side of the road, and our blinker is on the correct side.
What, the left?
Nah, right.
My indicator's on the left, and we drive on the left.
You don't.
We do. Even I do, and unless it is a particularly fast and vicious corner, and I know there's nothing coming the other way. And then I do what I'm legally entitled to do. It's perfectly legal for you to use the entire road, just not when something's coming the other way.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have to stay in your lane. And given the state of some of the roads around here, you try not to stay in your lane because they've dug them up and ruined them so many bloody times. You don't want to stay in your lane. You'll drive down the middle to avoid it all.
Yeah, like those little roads out in the back country roads here. You don't want to be on the left side because you hit the bloody edge of the road and it's all usually broken up or potholes.
Yeah, because we most of the back roads around here don't actually have a curbstones on the side. It just sort of merges into the hedgerow.
Yeah.
And they're all a bit dodgy anyway. And they've just in the last couple of years they've put in this huge run of new gas main. So what they did was they dug up the middle of one lane. Where do you think you ride your motorbike?
Oh.
Down the middle of the lane. Not round here, you don't. It's as rough as a badger's arse. It's bloody awful. They made a right mess of it.
Get your oven mitt.
Oven mitt?
Carl says he hasn't got an oven.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Carl says he doesn't have an oven mitt. You need two of them, Carl. Get two, at least.
Sit on your hands.
What about four? One for each foot.
Sit on your hands, mate. You'll be okay then. You can't slap yourself in the face. Oh, and move away from what if you're sitting at a desk, move away from that as well, so you don't headbutt the desk.
Yeah, you don't want to headbutt the desk. That's for sure. Sean wants a right-hand drive 4x4. Okay. Well, we do make some good 4x4s over here. all the peanuts are out there going, oh no, I'm going to die.
Oh, yeah.
It's not bad. It's just leaky being leaky.
Yeah.
Yes.
6 minutes of it. 6 minutes and 5 seconds.
Yeah, I try to keep these down to a minimum.
Before your head explodes. Someone put up a link to Blue Marble's science-approved face palm protector devices. Oh, okay.
I've got one of them. It's called a crash helmet. Visor down, you're safe. You can't hit your face then.
Carl said I might headbutt the floor. Oh.
I think if I ever start selling merch, the first thing I'll start with will be oven mitts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blue marble oven mitts. I like the sound of that.
I'll just wait for the P word from the Peanuts. Sean G says, what's a 4x4? You wrote 4x4 up there and you're asking me what's a 4x4.
A 4x4, it's like a 2x2 but bigger.
He wrote 4x4 and he's asking me what's a 4x4.
What's a 4x4?
Jeez.
It's a bit like
confused him.
but different.
Press play.
Oh, there we go.
Please don't play this.
Well, you don't want your daily dose of Brian Leakey. Oh.
Well, I waited for your meeting, Dora, for this too, you know. Procrastinate. BMS oven mitts, that would be awesome. There we go. Oh, the intro tune's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hello.
I found some other
Welcome to
annoying
Blue
music
Marble
I could play.
Science. Brian Leakey thinks he's found definitive proof that the Earth has to be flat, and he's basing that on the Red Bull Felix Baumgartner high-altitude parachute jump from a few years ago. Now, Brian Leakey wants a response to his video, and we're going to give him one, and I'll bet he's not going to like it. Warning, severe facial and monitor damage alert is in effect. Get out the oven mitts. Push the monitors back out of punching range, and let's light this dumpster fire and have some fun.
Okay, so I want to show, look, right there, the capsule is flat.
And you know it's flat because you measured it, or it just looks flat? How do you know it's flat, Brian?
This is Felix before he takes off, okay? There he is sitting down, and he's about to buckle in, but you can see the capsule. There's a camera that's in the same spot. They're going to show in a minute, but this capsule is pretty damn stable. Look, it's sitting there off the ground stable, and you can see the horizon, and I'm going to mark a line by it. Okay, you can see right under the sun pretty much the horizon, but I wait to mark it till you can see it a little bit better. Okay. So coming up here is
Here's a view from that same camera, Brian. I'll stop it and mark the horizon for you so you can see where it really is instead of where you marked it. Here's that view from inside the capsule while Felix Baumgartner is still blocking out the sun with his body, and you can clearly see the horizon right there.
Yep.
Not down here where you marked it, Brian.
right there, right at the ground of them buildings way off in the distance. Okay, I put a line, okay, and I leave it there. I leave it there for just about the rest of the video. It matches up with the horizon at 127,000 feet. Now, if the horizon at 127,000 feet is supposed to be bending away at like about 7 or 8 degrees, that ain't it. To me, I need a response on this one. This is about as solid as proof gets. There's your horizon, the same as it was at the ground, stationary. And that's not a delayed scene either. That's him at altitude, just sitting there for like 20, 30 seconds, not moving above the weather. So I'd love to hear a response on this one. Look how level that capsule is. Even when it lets go, it's heavy.
But you know, something just didn't look right about this. So I took a screenshot. This is taken straight from your video, Brian. That's your big fat red line that's not at the horizon, as we've already shown. And I superimposed on top of that an image with the hatch open once he gets to altitude. And when you do that, you see this picture. And it sure looks like the horizon is right there at the same point it was when he was on the ground. Exactly like you said, Brian. But then I noticed something else about this. I thought, well, that's just not looking right at all. Let's draw a circle around the hatch while he's here on the ground. And then let's go back up to altitude and see what happens. Uh-oh, Brian. that hatch got a lot smaller. In fact, I see a couple of black strips on either side of the video. How do you think that happened, Brian? So I thought, well, let's try this straight from the Red Bull video. Now, there's that picture that we looked at earlier, or one very similar to it, about the same time in the video. And here's the horizon where we know it actually is, because you can see it there, and I've marked it for you. And let's just draw the red circle around the hatch. There it is. Now let's take a look at altitude and see what happens. Well, the hatch stayed the same size, just like it should have. But all of a sudden,
what happened to the horizon?
The horizon is not where it was. It's down there, Brian. 6 degrees down, just like it should be from that altitude. That much. So what's the problem here, Brian? Did you just not notice this? Or have you done it intentionally? I'd like a response to that. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
And another flat earther being disingenuous.
Down there. Shout out to the patrons and PayPals. I appreciate everything you guys do. And I guess we'll see you on the next one. Hey, Gladys. We're out of here.
And he did this live on the show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was on Jose's yesterday doing the flat earth two-step, trying to talk his way out of it. And of course, he's not agreeing that anything I did was correct.
Okay, I'll give you a 488 thumb up, and you got 1620 views. You got 1620 views and 488 thumbs up. I just gave it one.
Oh, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I can deal with it.
Yeah.
Got any thumbs downs?
3. I can do a thumbs down.
Yeah, give it a thumbs. It needs more thumbs downs. Come on. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it.
There we go.
No, when I saw what Brian had done, that just pissed me off.
He's been trying to use that whole jump as an argument for some time now, hasn't he? But, you know,
Yeah.
he says, oh, you can see, look, you can see the horizon. And then when you get up to 100 and whatever thousand feet it is, but the horizon's in the same place. It's like, no, it's not.
No, it isn't.
I will ignore.
But
and
then
I know,
to shrink,
go on.
but then to shrink the view at altitude like that, it also makes the distance between the change in the horizon shrink as well.
Mm.
I mean, I'm sorry, but that's just dishonest.
Was there any way you could... is that what you did with the... Where he did the wrong one, and he superimposed it where the hatch was smaller, you could have zoomed in on the hatch and made it bigger to see if his line actually would move.
I didn't even try it. I don't think... I didn't even try to do that, Terry.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. If there was a way of doing it. I mean, I could do it, but I can't do it while I'm here.
Yeah, right. I didn't want to go to the trouble of going through all of that to try to blow it back up or shrink the view down. I showed it anyway. I mean,
yeah.
I picked I took it straight from the Red Bull video to show you exactly what it actually did do.
Mm.
No, the problem is he just completely missed what he calls the horizon when the capsule's sitting on the ground is not the right place. It's not down there.
Yeah,
and he was taking it from exactly the same video I took it from, and that's why I wanted to show people. You know, there is that one little 1 or 2 second section of the Red Bull video where Felix is blocking the sun, and you can see the horizon on both sides of him. So you got a great point there to make that you can choose that will show you exactly where the horizon really is. And he just ignored that completely and decided to drop it down.
Yeah, he just wanted to use an image that you can't even see because the sun's actually washing out the view of where the horizon is. And just drew an arbitrary line anywhere. Somewhere there, yeah, that'll do. Or did he do it backwards and draw like we don't know. For what he presented, was that his video that he'd already made, and then he presented it.
Say what now?
Oh, what you mean yesterday in Jose's?
Yeah. Because that's the video showing
No,
what
this is off his channel.
Oh, okay, so it was already
that
done.
video's off
Yeah.
channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because it's just a
Well,
coincidence. It's just a coincidence that the line was on the horizon in the other view of when it's up in the altitude one, and then when he shows that one, it's like as if he's done it backwards because it's too coincidental that the lines match up for the horizon.
You have a foolish decisions in Discord.
I have a voice in me head.
Yes.
It's not you. It's not farmers
yeah,
being
you do.
ventriloquist.
Because I'm not in Discord. I can see. I can see who is.
Yeah,
and it's the one that everybody gets confused with me.
Yeah, I can see you there, Drush. You can't hide.
Oh, I'm the real farmers. He just.
You're the real farmer.
Now look, I'm right. This is my wife.
I can prove it.
If you want to come in on panel, Drush, you have to join your link through the special place.
I probably won't because I've got like 2 minutes of my lunch left.
Okay.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would. But I do remember you saying you don't come on often enough, and when Scott said, Terry's after you, I thought, oh, I made a promise. So I thought, at least I can show up and not be a cunt.
Well, I put a link down in
if
Gems.
you're streaming, I apologize.
I put a link down in Gems because no one was here and no one was getting any notification for tonight, and I was running half an hour. I waited half an hour, then I waited 3/4 of an hour, and I said, no, I'm going to have to shut it down. So I posted a link in a few places, and farmers found me, and yeah. Blue knew where I was because he was in the peanut gallery going, no, but don't shut down the stream. So I thought I better go live then.
Yeah. No worries. Well, I'll definitely try and make sure I've got time for it. I was supposed to be doing a fucking training course today, and I think they've cancelled it, but not told anybody.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So I'm really fucked off. I mean, I've like cleared my entire fucking diary for the day, which is not an easy thing for me to do. Which is why I tend to be in for 10 minutes, gone for an hour and a half, back for 10 minutes if I've got some time during the day.
Yeah, we all went down to Gems and had a look. Well, I did. They can't see what I'm doing here. And I said, oh, okay, we can see the usual crowd down there. Oh, you're not in there. Okay, you're not muted or in there either. So I thought, okay.
Yeah.
He's not been muted by chemo. Hang on, what's going on?
Something's not right. Something's not right here.
I'll tell you what, I actually think Chemo's skating on very fucking thin ice, even with Gem at the moment.
Yeah.
Because when he did that thing to me and then tried to gaslight it, I've got some communications that he won. Because I admit, in the early days, I was quite rumpusy. I do admit that. But I feel I have kind of cut my rhetoric and dialogue down to short, choppy chunks, and I try and back off the mic a lot. So I don't think I'm being the git that Chemo tries to portray me as, but then again, Chemo's a lying piece of shit, so what do I care?
Yeah, even that time when you and I were talking there one time and Chemo come in and bloody muted you, I was cheesed off about it, and I voiced my thing about it to say unmute you, and I wasn't going to give up on that, so... And I didn't get muted for doing it, so... But then I got muted there several weeks back for something, and I can't remember, and I could never remember what it was for.
Probably Chemo's favourite sort of phrase is derailing, which is kind of like his version of racial profiling.
Yeah, you bring up something else or try to say something, he doesn't like that. He wants the conversation to go a certain direction, and get somebody else to talk and argue, and that's his bit he gets off on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I honestly don't think Chemo's a flat earther. I think this is just a laugh for him. This is a laughing session that he's just very invested in.
Yeah.
And the more and more he does it, the more and more I think that. Anyway, I gotta rock because it's now 3 minutes after my lunch hour. I should really at least show that I'm back. I'll catch you later.
Righto, mate. Well, I don't really have anything else for you tonight, so it might be a shortish one. I can't find anything. I used to get 20 as a day from Drust to be muted. I used to get DMs a day from Drust to be unmuted, laugh out loud. Are you a mod down in there to unmute people, Sean? Okay. Well, I'm not sticking up for people that do mute the people that get muted, but there is some people that may get muted, but maybe there is good reasons for some people to be muted. Some people might not be able to control themselves or whatever. I noticed that C4's always muted down there. Like permanent mute. Like he is at the moment. He's definitely muted. And Chemo's not talking at the moment. Oh, Jazz is down there. Your swear jar should be overflowing after that visit. Oh, from Druss? Yeah, I'll have to tell Druss that. Yeah, I think inflation, the swear jar cost I think's gone up a little bit this year. I don't know what the inflation rate was. I'd have to check. Well, I don't know if there's any other videos really. I think I already picked those ones. Especially any derp type ones, that's for sure. Because it did an Everett. We did. We used to play Anton, but only depending on what it's about. Now we've done McToon. Mr. Sensible, I haven't played him for a while, but that's what derp it is.
Oh, if that's Mr. Sensible's latest, yeah, that's
Yeah, I was just looking at that one. It's Mitchell's
Mud Floods.
something. Oh, Mud Floods, jeez.
Yes, Mitchell from Australia.
Bloody Mud Floods. Flat Earth is.
I mean, if it ain't one thing, it's another. If Flat Earth ain't bad enough, it's Mud Floods, and they're pointing at things, going, "Oh, there was a mud flood, really?" And that's never cropped up in history books or anything.
I'll be glad when this COVID thing's all finished, and then get back to normal, I suppose. As well.
Well, will we ever get back to what was normal?
They're developing over here. They still reckon it's going to take another couple of years to fully develop it, but they've actually devised a system where it's actually absorbed. It's like a patch, and it absorbs into the skin.
Oh, right.
So it's not really a needle. It's not so much a needle. It's more of a patch.
Yeah, because some people struggle with needles, don't they?
Yeah. So I thought, okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, they don't bother me. And to be honest, the needle that they use over here for that injection is so thin, you don't even bloody feel it. I didn't.
I'm not against the thing to get it done to me, but I haven't gone to get it done, and neither's my wife or anyone in our family that I know of.
Oh, right.
Because the herd immunity thing, I've heard of that, and then I'm thinking, well, it's not as if it's there's a lot of cases that were happening down in our way, down in this area. I suppose I would have probably more seriously thought of it if the cases were more severe, but no, we were very sedate in our lockdowns and everything down this way. We have a bit of a lockdown for a little while. I think that was beginning of last year. That was our main one. Or was it this year? I forget what year we're up to now. No, it would have been this year, wouldn't it? We're 2021 now. Yeah, it was last year.
June 2021.
Yeah, it was 20, yeah. Beginning of 20 is when we had the main lockdown.
I think the problem we have over here, there's a damn sight more of us squeezed into a much smaller area, and there seem to be so many people who just don't give a toss.
Mm.
You know, and we've now got this supposed Indian variant.
Yeah.
And I think I am actually in one of the areas roughly where that's sort of spread, where that's blown up, because there's an awful lot of them. So I had absolutely no trouble at all. And they said, "Oh, due to your medical history and all the rest of it, and that you're taking something that lowers your immune system, you can have the jab earlier." And I said, "Yes, please." Because that's unfortunately my psoriasis drug lowers my immune system. So that leaves me even more open to copping things like that. So I thought, well, if there's a vaccination going, I'll have it. Thank you very much.
What did Scott post in here?
And I had absolutely zero side effects.
Okay. Proving the world is flat. What's this, Scott? I don't know who that person is. I mean, I know the pilot. I don't want to play his channel. He's got 477,000 subscribers, and he's a pilot. So, he's a big channel.
Mm.
Yeah, we shut down all our borders. Bloody Victoria at the moment. Now it's got the problem.
That's what we didn't do over here. Right from the very start, they should have just said, right, that's it, nobody in, nobody out. And no, they faffed about.
Yeah, we shut down our borders straight away. Just to try to contain it even in that way.
Yeah.
And I think the shutting down of the shopping centres and places where people congregate and all that sort of stuff early on, that I think that helped too. And your travel thing too. If you were out on the street, and if the cops pulled you over or whatever, driving around, only legitimate reason was you were going to the shop at one time there when we were allowed to go to a shop or something. We weren't allowed just to be driving around.
Yeah,
because the roads were really quiet.
Here, because I think that was the lockdown last year, because just about everything had shut. So you didn't have people driving around anyway, because it's like, well, where are they going to go to? Everywhere's shut.
Yeah.
And you could go and do your shopping, and that was about it. You could go to the supermarket and do your shopping. You couldn't go anywhere else. All the other shops, clothes shops, John Lewis, anything like that, they're all shut.
And we had limitations too, of how many people could be in certain places. Like I think even now, I think it's still the RTA, the road people, whatever you call them, that over there, MOT place where you go and register your car stuff.
Yeah.
Over here, it's all in one building. You've got the other government departments as well, and you've got to stand outside in line, and they're only letting so many people in, and with a mask as well. So some places have still got masks, and for that reason. I want to make myself a coffee, but I'm the host. Makes it hard.
I thought you were.
If we have yeah, I want to make a coffee.
I'll make a coffee.
That
doesn't usually stop you. We usually tell when you're in the kitchen.
No, I just went out there then, and I was trying to. How could I make a coffee without making too much noise while I still got my microphone open?
No, but we can tell, so I won't worry about it.
Yeah, I was just looking in to see if there's any video. 9 o'clock Hero gave me this one. It's a Lindsay Harris counterpart. Reasonable model of energy. I wonder if you could watch that and see what you think of this one. He's only got a few subscribers, I think.
Oh, is he like a knockoff Lindsay Harris?
Yeah, he's called Draft Science. He's got 2.3 subscribers. It's had 381 views. It only was made in May the 4th. But you never know if they want to strike you or not. That's the problem with some of these other ones.
Yeah.
I know Lindsay hasn't. He probably doesn't know how to.
Bless his heart.
You make coffee while online? What do you mean I make coffee while online? Yeah, I can make coffee while I'm online.
Yeah, just go into the kitchen and make a coffee.
I'm so happy Texas is completely off a lockdown and masks, so people in businesses ask for masks but not forced to, and companies at full capacity. How many got their second shot? What do you got to have 2 shots for? What the first one don't work?
I'm trying to remember what the explanation is now. I think the first one like sets it up, and then the second one actually does the work or something. I can't quite remember, but yeah, you basically need 2 shots, and they need to be a decent time apart. You've got to let the first one sort of get in and take effect, and then 2 months, 3 months, something like that. I think it's 3 months apart. Yeah, mine was start of February and March, April, and then start of May.
Well, I want to just go off AFK for 30 seconds to a minute, and I'm trying to get something set up for you. No, I better not play it. I'll put the link in the Peanut Gallery if anyone wants to.
What? Just in case he cops the arse?
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Copy link. Yeah, somebody else can watch it and then they can give me a reaction to it. It's supposed to be a Lindsay Harris counterpart. 9 o'clock Hero posted it over in Discord. Yeah, I don't show enough people. I don't know if anyone else has anything. Any suggestions in the peanuts out of everyone that I have here, or they've seen something that's I can watch? Do you just want to watch a bit of Mr. Sensible's Mud Flood then, peanuts? How long's that go?
That's actually quite a good one.
We all thought he'd gone.
It goes for 11 minutes. I'll get a vote out in the peanuts.
Yeah.
See what they say. So, Mr. Sensible Mud Flood. I'll grab that.
Because of course, for Mr. Sensible, you can play where did he get that quote from? Because he cribs a lot of stuff from Hitchhikers and Monty Python.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of that.
What else have we got? Scott Man. I think I've played Scott Manley before, and he's never struck me, which was good.
Scott Manley.
Yeah, Scott Manley.
I'm sure you played Scott Manley.
I played Scott Manley. NASA plans double barrel solution to Venus mystery. Depends on the topic. Why do we hope to learn by sending new probes to Venus? That one. I'm going to have to tell
Yeah,
Jose to
I
tell
noticed
Jose.
these things we're sending to Venus aren't actually going to land.
What do I have against mud flaps? I don't get it. Mud flaps. Floods. What is mud flaps? Jeez. And I'm going to
It
have
could be
to.
worse.
I'm going to have to speak
It
to
could be
Jose and
sausage.
get him to stream at a more respectable hour. At 4 o'clock in the morning, usually at my time.
It's not 4 o'clock in the morning for me.
No.
This is a problem. Bloody time zones.
Who else we got?
You're on the wrong side of the planet, boy. That's what it is.
I've got another Everett Anderson, Flat Earth is Inside the Globe. I don't think I played that one. What happened to Simon Dan? That's Flat Earth Friday. That's for Saturday. We get that.
Fair enough.
I miss out on that one. Yeah, I always play a Flat Earth Friday one. It's either from Simon Dan or is it from Conspiracy Cats? I know it's one of the two. Okay, I'll grab Everett. So I've got an Everett and it only goes for 4 minutes, so that's long enough for me to make a coffee. Why is Jose streaming? What do you mean, why is Jose streaming?
He's not at the moment.
No, he's not at the moment, no. But my 4 o'clock in the night, I have sometimes got into Discord, like at my early morning, and found him still having the after show and whatever over there. It's 25 p.m. for me. That doesn't make sense. 25. What's 25 p.m.?
Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense.
That definitely doesn't make sense. Okay. Oh, how'd you go with your I haven't spoke to you since the last Sunday when you went and shot everybody.
Oh, paintballing. No, that was a good day. It was a bit strange. When I left the house here, it was glorious. And I thought, it's going to be a beautiful day. The closer I got to the paintball site, because it was an hour's drive away, the darker it got, the wetter it got. When I got there, it was raining. It's like, this ain't going to be any fun. But yeah, after a couple of hours, it stopped raining. And then eventually the sun came out. And yeah, a good time was had by all. We didn't get to play quite as much as we usually do because they had 106 punters there. This just general public who turn up and play. So they were split into groups of three. So you had those three groups and then us. So it all started getting a bit sort of, which field are you playing on? Oh, we'll go this way. Well, what field are you on? And we generally had to wait for them to be processed and go out again first before we went, because at the end of the day, it's the punters who make the site money, But no, it was a good day. It's always nice when you shoot and you see the guy who you're shooting at put his hand up and you think, oh, that's another one.
Does the water soluble paint stuff on you if it's raining? Like, does the rain affect them? If you're wet?
The only time, the only thing it can affect is getting inside your hopper, making the balls wet, because the hoppers will take a lot of abuse. But if you've got wet balls inside the hopper, they tend to jam up. So I've got two identical hoppers, one that's got a clear solid plastic lid and one that's got a lid that's called a speed feeder, and it's got like rubberized arms. And when you go to put the balls in, they'll press these arms apart and just fill the hopper up. I don't use that if it's raining, because like I say, the rain can get in. But really, the only difference the rain makes it, if it's absolutely chucking it down, A, you can't see very well, because your mask tends to get wet as well. But B, it will deflect the paintballs, because these paintballs, they come out at a fair speed, but the speed rapidly drops off. So, about 30 foot down the line, they're losing speed, and you can see the paintballs being pushed out of line by the rain. So it ain't a lot of fun.
Okay.
But no, that was a good day.
Press play. Oh, sorry, I was just answering someone in the peanuts.
That's all right.
And I already made me coffee.
Harpies. Where's she getting that from?
What? So you got rubber arms on your balls? That's what. I did hear that.
No, the opening to the hopper has a series of, they're like rubber arms, and when you put your pot in and the paintballs drop out due to gravity, they push the arms aside and fall into the hopper.
And
not very good at stopping
Flow
rain
Rider
getting-
said I don't like my balls wet either. So yeah, that's true. Dennis Hopper? No, not Dennis Hopper. Wait, what? Yeah, Carl, you missed out on that one. So you talk about balls, we get away from Blues balls now. So.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, but farmers are smaller. They're only small.
0.68 of an inch, give or take.
Oh, those are little bitty balls.
Yeah.
That's the size of a
Okay.
paintball. Sean G's going paintballing. Good for you, mate.
Oh.
Hope you enjoy it.
Go out on a friend's property. What are you going to have for cover on a property? What trees or old cars, buildings, stuff like that?
You'd have thought so. I take it it's not an actual paintball site.
Yeah, you'd have to have some cover around. You couldn't just have buildings. You'd have to have other stuff too.
Yeah. There are places where you can do sort of urban paintball in buildings. I have played on places that have got sort of shells of buildings and things.
I don't like the purpose-built shacks that they do. It don't look right. Like with just the plywood walls and a bit of a roof. You know, you can tell it's a knocked up structure just for paintballing. I'd rather it more natural looking.
That's what a lot of ours are. Where I go,
Haven't finished yet, Carl. Carl's a bit premature. You want me to finish, Carl? Oh, Carl's got to go. Oh.
I presume Carl's
got his power. Yeah, he has trouble with his power thing. What's this inch thing you're talking about, Farmers Boy? I mean, I measure in swallow wingspans.
Don't know about swallows. I could do it in house martin wingspans because my house martins are back. But they're obviously much smaller than a swallow.
Okay, we better put that up. So what's this one? Flat Earth is inside the globe, from Everett.
Oh yeah, this one's a bit special.
Get past that.
Real truthers, earth lovers, united we stand. I've always spoken, or I've
He's
been
special, this bloke.
telling my flat earth friends
already
that I think we should change the name Flat Earth to like round flat earthers. Because people get scared of the word flat due to all the controlled opposition, things that come from Flat Earth Society, which are created to ridicule or to make us sound ridiculous.
No! No!
And being that we, on a scientific adventure in the Flat Earth community.
First I'll need tenure. Done. And a big research grant. You got it. Also access to a lab and 5 graduate students, at least 3 of them Chinese.
We're, realizing the truth that there's an aura, there's a toroidal vortex going on.
We
know there's like a firmament style.
Which you wanted, didn't it?
You can actually go around saying, yes, we live in a ball-like structure, of which we have had a limitation on how much we can actually access.
Yep.
So we can actually reach a
and understanding that there is a structure around us other than the whole quantum physics or electric universe theory of
Does he know what the word
inward and
structure
outward
means?
structure.
What are you talking about?
So I think calling our reality a ball that's round with a ground that's flat internally
What?
would be easier for any round earther or flat or non-flat earther to understand. So we could actually start saying that yes, we live in a bowl that's round, but we are on a flat ground in the middle of it.
Right.
Just like
Because
Lindsay.
automatically your brain,
Almost.
cognitive dissonance, is
Yeah.
trying to, okay, if we're not flying
Yeah, he
through
needs
this
a
universe, then what are we?
whiteboard. Death said
But
he
to
needs a
maintain
whiteboard.
the idea of
Yeah.
a flat disk, it's a complicated thing. Flat Earth being not non-flat Earth.
It is mutiny!
And I think the idea of this round ball with a flat ground in between, not expanding, not flying this expanding universe, but yes, there is a vortex and a firmament-like structure turning around is important.
How
What
about
the
no?
fuck is he talking about?
And understanding that
It's
this
like
is
a variation of
incredible adventure right now
Lindsay's idea of
that
it.
we have in discovering the truth
You
Without
can't
a-
handle the truth!
and realizing that the garbage and nonsense they've been telling us is there to control us.
Zeblon said, shit,
like
I
the Truman
actually had to
Show,
pull over to look at this
to keep us
thing.
stuck in this bubble. Oh dear.
You're not well.
You're not well.
He's special, that bloke, that's for sure.
Yep.
Oh, where did I put that picture? I found it somewhere. Oh shit, don't do that. I pinched this image off someone. Where is it? Pictures. Ah, shit, where do I put I have to start organising my folder for where I got all my images.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
It's a bit of a mess. Because I go into another folder and I got more pictures. And then I go into another folder and I got more pictures. And
Yeah, that's why filing is actually important. I know it's an onerous job, but yeah.
yeah, I have to categorize all these images into one folder because they don't make sense. I'll try there. Give me a minute. It's here.
Oh, can I just point? Yeah, dart. The difference between airsoft and paintball. Airsoft is generally run on trust, because those little plastic pellets don't burst or anything. Whereas paintball, you know when you've got a kill because the paintball bursts and they're covered in paint.
Yep, exactly.
That's the main advantage for paintball, because it can bounce, and ironically, the bouncers hurt more than when they burst. But if they bounce and doesn't burst, then it's not a kill. And we generally play the anywhere rule. The paintball has to burst anywhere. Your gun, the hopper, your backpack, anything at all. If it bursts, it's a kill. And with airsoft, you have to rely on the guy that you're shooting to put his hand up and say, "Yeah, you got me." But airsoft pellets can still hurt. If they catch you at close range, that will hurt.
What are they made of, the airsoft pellets?
Plastic, I think. I'm not sure.
Are they little plastic balls? Are they like solid plastic?
Oh, they're solid. Yeah. I think I played it once somewhere and thought, I can't get on with this.
I don't think I can find this image. I thought it was quite interesting. I think I pinched it from Gems. Now I don't know what I've done with it. I don't think I put it in Discord. I thought I pinched it and put it in your computer. Bugger.
Bugger.
Bugger, bugger. It's probably staring me right in the face every time I look in this folder.
What are you looking for?
Oh, it's an image I pinched off. I think it was off Gems. And I just thought it was interesting to do with what we were just talking about with that bloke and Lindsay. I can't find it now. But I wanted to find it. Yeah, I found it.
Hey.
Yeah, I found it. I'll just drag it over here. Drag it across. There we go.
Oh, flow's off. See you later, Flo.
There we go. Look familiar?
Yes.
It might not have all the exact aspects, but it's got very similar. It's got a donut shape for the half side of it. It's got some other bits and pieces added into it. Magnetism, toroidal energy, vibration, dynamics. There's a 2D projection, something there. I haven't got any more information about it. I just found it in Gems one time. Somebody posted it, and I thought, whose idea is this? They looked very similar. The Moree pattern, the M-O-R-E-E, Moree. Holographic. It's got the holographic part of it. Dielectric BLOCH wall. You can nearly pick that right now, almost centrifugal light and matter. Yeah.
If you look at the bottom right, it says a 2D projection, and then it shows you the 3D coordinates.
Oh, so 3D coordinates on a 2D projection.
It says 2D projection, but that is the typical X, Y, and Z axis for a 3D coordinate system. So it's not a 2D. Confused.
So we've got the Bloch wall. It's a dielectric inertial plane, or inertia plane, axis of orbital symmetry. This is right out of the turbo encapsulator. Yeah, sure. I thought it was interesting when I seen it. I thought, oh yeah, I've seen that before.
There's some derp there.
Yeah, there is.
Just a little bit, yeah.
I'll repost it in
a little bit of derp.
Where is it again?
Some mild derpage.
I'll copy it and I'll paste it in Discord so people can. I'll put it in. Yeah, put in random pics. That'll do. Paste it in there.
It somehow loses a bit of its flavor when it's not on Lindsay's whiteboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too colourful and too precise. A torus field.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Sean G said it's a torus field. Oh, it's over in Discord, the image. In random pics.
I think it's a tortoise field is what it is.
A tortoise field.
Is that where you grow tortoises?
Oh, okay. What have we got here? I'll get rid of that. And we'll play Mr. Sensible to finish off.
Cool.
Yeah, it looks too real, Carl said. Yeah, it's straight out. This is straight out of a Lindsay Nightmare deck. That's what I thought when I seen it. Okay. Share that. Share that. And you want that out there. Not sound. There you go, Mr. Sensible.
Gone. He's not been around for about 6 months, but he is back. None other than that flat earther from Australia, and now into a new conspiracy theory. Welcome back, Mitchell from Australia. Now, when Mitch disappeared for about 6 months, I thought he'd finally realised that Flat Earth is a dead duck. Well, instead of keeping quiet, as would probably be sensible, he's decided to get into another conspiracy theory. Oh yes, none other than mud floods. Mitch, I'm not sure that that's a good move. If I was you, I would run along again and carry on just
fumbling your didgeridoo.
Roll VT.
I'm in Sydney City with these beautiful old...
I see you shiver with anticipation.
buildings. It's very obvious whoever built this.
Planners, architects, construction crews.
Whoever built this was extremely intelligent.
Well, that rules out flat earthers, doesn't it?
The planning was exquisite. The building was exquisite. These were intelligent people.
Yep, because if they weren't, it would look crap and it would fall down.
Why on earth would they have windows halfway in the footpath?
Really?
Why on earth would they have windows halfway in the footpath? Does not make sense. And had to dig them out. Look at this. So there's grates because can't see in this one. There's actually another level beneath these windows here.
Well, I don't know, Mitch. Perhaps it's a basement?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Just see there. And a step half in the footpath.
And I have seen
Look,
similar
there's actually
basements like
another
this
level
built.
down there.
Like
Well,
this
slap
over
my
in
arse
England.
and call me Shirley if the basement
Oh, yeah.
isn't an entirely different level.
Very common thing
Why are
over
these
here.
windows half buried? I don't get it.
Must be mud floods then.
Just like you don't get the fact that the Earth is not flat, that there is not some glass dome firmament, and space is really rather bloody big.
Why have they gone
These
so
buildings
much
aren't
effort
that
to put a
old
window
either. They're only 100.
down the bottom, half
just a
buried
bit
in this
over 100
building?
year old.
Well, I
Over
feel
here.
like going out
Like,
on a
that's what-
limb here, Mitch.
Like we call buildings like that old, but Alan keeps correcting me and saying, no, that's not old. And then he shows me stuff that you guys have got over in England. This
The
is
pub
old.
I used to drink in back in the day. Yeah, the pub I used to drink in. There were three American servicemen who were all sort of buddies, and they used to come and drink in there a lot. And then one of them, one evening, I remember he sat there and he'd had this remarkable realization. He said, "Do you know? I've just found out that this building that I've been drinking in is older than my country." And I said, "Yeah. Well, what's unusual about that? When do you think the village church was built?" I think that particular one was something like the 1300s. You know, I said, "Yeah, this pub is older than your nation. You'll find that quite a lot over here because we have this thing that's called history." Just, couldn't get their heads around it. I'm in a building that's older than my nation is. Yeah, and it's just a pub.
And I'm going to hazard a guess that it's to let light in. That's just a wild stab in the dark. I'm surprised you haven't had one of those yet.
Now it's all the way along here, and they slowly taper off.
I'm trying to think where
Funny
this is in
that,
Sydney.
as the land slopes downwards and the building remains level, the height of the windows changes.
But it's pretty obvious that they're all the same level.
Many Bothans died to bring us this information.
And you can tell that this building is pretty old. One of the first buildings in the city compared to all these other old ones here.
That's
yeah,
pretty
around
old.
100 or so years ago, they didn't build too many glass and steel skyscrapers, did they, Mitch?
And they're mainly
I've
built
been
out of
pretty
sandstone,
skeptical
all
of
our original old
Michael
buildings.
Dudds, because I've never really experienced what I'm seeing here. But it's pretty obvious that
Because sandstone is what's
something's not
under
quite
the
right.
ground.
I think
All
you're
around
right,
the
Mitch.
Sydney
Something
base.
is not quite right. 000 in Australia for emergency medical assistance.
Now I want to show you this one over here.
Run, Forrest! Run away! Hurry!
This one just takes the cake. Now yeah, there's another level down there. But look at this. Beautiful windows, half underground. And they've had to dig it out and put a grate here.
That's
so it
amazing,
didn't cave in.
amazing.
So are you
Yeah.
suggesting, Mitch, that they only dug those out to stop the earth pressing up against the windows? And I think they put the gratings there to prevent flat earthers from falling down and thus seeing that there is such a thing as gravity before they break their little necks.
Beautiful windows, half underground. Why would anyone do that? Look at this beautiful building. It's obviously been planned out. It's always been built by intelligent people. Intelligent people don't do that.
Ah, I'm sure that intelligent people are actually watching YouTube channels such as Nathan Oakley, Sleeping Warrior, and dare I say it, Mitch from Australia, to do some learning about things like flat Earth. You may be wrong there.
It's quite obvious this building was here before
Yeah,
this hill.
basements are rare.
Mitch, we need to address this mud flood idea.
But they
Two
were
questions
built in
spring
those
to mind.
buildings
Firstly, where
when
did
they
all
were
this
built.
mud come from? Secondly, from whence came all the mud? Now, I realise that's actually the same question, worded slightly differently, but it was such a biggie that I thought it was worth asking twice.
Now there's one down here that is just unexplainable.
So where do you get mud from
Unexplained.
sandstone? Because it's a sandstone
Now
basin.
that doesn't tickle your fancy. Look at these
Or
ones.
not a basin,
Yeah.
but
Look at
plateau.
Look at this. 4 stories down. There are windows.
Well, Mitch, my explanation is going to be because there's more than one basement level. That was difficult, wasn't it?
And they've had to dig this out to put windows there. Why?
Yeah, into the sandstone.
It's ridiculous. You see windows. 1, 2, 3. I'm standing on the 4th story of this building.
Perhaps you should tell Eric DeBay about this. He could do another video, 200 proofs that buildings don't have basements.
That'll be riveting.
You see the rest of the city down there is down that level. Look,
Yes, there
all the
is
way along
hills
this
in
building.
Sydney.
Why have they gone to so much effort to put...
Now there when
Can't really
the
see that one. This
Captain
one here.
Cook there went there too.
4 stories of windows here. It's ridiculous.
I'll be honest, Mitch, coming from a flat earther, I don't think I could put much store into your opinion as to what's ridiculous.
Anyway, thought I'd just share that with you, and something on top too. So this said it got opened in 1927. But it's obvious that this building is much older than...
Well, if the plaque says it was built in 1927, why is it obvious that the building is much older?
almost 100 years. And look on top of it. Another building's on top of it.
He's having a go at the upper floors now.
So that brick was obviously not around when this was built. So 1927 would have been the opening of that building on top of this building.
Yeah, the other ones are old.
You
I know the other ones are
total
older with
twat
sandstone
waffle.
blocks.
Mitch, the earliest bricks come from around 7000 BC. The settlements around the city of Jericho. What on earth makes you think that the bricks weren't around before the 1920s?
This building was here much longer than that.
Is it? Well, let's have a look at a bit you filmed a couple minutes ago. We can see that it's number 89. We can see it's the Royal Automobile Club of Australia. And with a bit of Googling, it turns out that's North Macquarie in Sydney. So how about a quick look at their website? Here we go, Royal Automobile Club of Australia. I bet they've got they have got a history page. Well, let's have a quick squint at that. 1913 to 1922. In 1922, the club also purchased a site in North Macquarie Street, Sydney, which was to become its permanent home. Architects H.E. Ross and H. Ruskin Rowe were commissioned to design the new club. And
I'm going to have to pick on bloody Mr. Sensible now.
Why is that?
It's Macquarie.
Ah, okay.
I was trying to work out why was he saying Macquarie, and I know that, and I thought there's no such street named that in Sydney. It's Macquarie. So
work commenced in
makes sense. That's how it's spelled.
1926, which seems to tie up quite well with it being opened in 1927. Now, Mitch, I'm right across the other side of the flat plane. Damn. Now, Mitch, I'm on the opposite side of the globe to you, and with only those few clues, I managed to locate the building and find out when it was built. How much research do you do? None, and I counted it twice.
Pretty obvious there's two buildings here.
No, Mitch, it's just a style. It's called the interwar commercial palazzo style, and as you can see, there's several examples here, all that happen to have been completed between the wars.
The bottom is much older than the one on top. Well, that brick wasn't there when that was first built, and that sandstone. So we're on mud floods, just experience.
What about this building
firsthand. Don't know what to think of it.
I do. I think that your mud flood theory has about as much appeal as the last chicken in the shop.
Make up your own mind. Go and see it for yourself. Go in an old city. Look at the buildings. Look at the little windows.
I think he works for Tourism Australia to get people to come and visit Sydney to walk around and see the old buildings.
Why did you bother to come back to YouTube and post that sort of crap? While you're thinking on that, big thanks to our amazing members, patrons and subscribers. I want to give massive thanks to all of my supporting members and patrons. Thank you all so very much. Thanks for joining me today. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe. You know it makes sense. Until next time, stay sensible.
Shut up and sit down.
I can't believe anybody's actually that stupid.
Well, see, I think he was thinking a lot of the Northern Hemispherians were going to be watching that and not understand what was going on for what he was saying. He doesn't realise that there is some Australians around that do see this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very common thing to see in all of our sort of decent sized towns and cities. You know, these big buildings tend to have basements. And the one thing you don't generally have in basements is natural light. So if you can, you know, they will have what are pretty much trenches dug around the side of the building. And it's called a light well. And it's a light well for a reason, because you can then put windows in and let the light into the basement. So for anybody to go, it's a mud flood. Oh, really? A mud flood?
They have hobbits in Australia? Not that I know of.
You leave the windows out. Basically, you built a dungeon.
Yeah, exactly.
The idea is to build one, at least one of them, somewhere big enough that you could actually get out of it in an emergency.
Well, I've stretched 3 hours out of nothing tonight, so...
Well, you ain't done bad, mate. You ain't done bad.
Yeah, I think we've been going long
Yeah,
enough.
you did well.
Yeah, just dragged it out.
Good job.
Yeah.
We didn't get a full panel tonight, but I thank you guys for showing up anyway.
No, that's all right.
It's
just a shame.
I know
farmers
farmers can't come all the time because he was working since he was running Amazon there for a while.
I wish. I've managed to escape from there. For which my body is eternally grateful.
And your feet.
Exactly. Oh, feet are killing me.
Are you going to put in your next tax return that you need new shoes? Because you can claim on them.
I think I need new feet. And new shoulders. They were suffering as well. It is bloody hard work. When you do it day after day after day. But there you go. Job's a job.
Yeah, but it's good to have your dream. Like I got told when I was doing job search. Yeah, you might not get your dream job, but you might get a what do they call it? A survival job or something.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah. My dream job would be restoring old cars, but I didn't quite get into that. What am I looking for?
Don't know whether I've got a dream job, to be honest. I was happy designing plant rooms, but the new owners of the company said, no, off you go.
What was your expertise, Blue, in your day?
Huh?
What was your expertise in your day when you were...
Just the engineering stuff, I guess.
Yeah. Did you work in a factory or workshop or something?
No, I worked in a company that designed and manufactured custom air pollution control equipment for power plants and cement mills and paper mills and all those kinds of places.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. Oh, thanks again, Blue. Thanks again, Farmer.
Hey, no worries, mate.
We had Fred out there. LB, Dora, Death. Oh, we had a Rupert Cow. Didn't see you there, Rupert. I think you're subscribed. You might have been lost your spanner in the last culling I did ages ago. So you can get your spanner back. I think you're subscribed. Carl, Dart, Fred. Did I say Fred? Might say your name twice here because I'll forget. Carl, Dora. I'm scrolling up. Demon Orb. Did I say Dart? Yeah. No,
yes, I plead the Fifth Amendment.
Sorry, Blue. 9 o'clock hero.
I'm being advised. My attorney advises me to plead the Fifth Amendment.
Oh yeah, don't forget Sean. Sean said he was going to drop in after he had his breakfast. Yeah, I'm still scrolling up. Flow Rider was out there too. I know Dora was out there earlier. Dora. Yeah, I'm still scrolling up, so I can only go so far.
Yeah.
Demon Orb. Roomfondle. Scott. That's as far as I go. If I've missed your name,
Tough.
No, I've missed your name.
Wasn't
Tough.
intentional.
Tough.
Right?
Yes, you're listening
Kind of hard to
sometimes.
keep up
Oh,
with.
Rupert. Sorry, Blue.
It's hard to keep up with the chat, especially when you got other things going on. It happens to me all the time when I'm trying to do live streams out there and watch Cavendish and keep track of what's going on with that thing and read the chat at the same time. So invariably miss people, I'm sure, but yeah.
Oh, well, I had 14 viewers up until now, and I got 24 thumbs up, but no thumbs down. That's not fair. What? Somebody must not like it. Yeah, I didn't get one thumbs
just for
down.
that, I'll switch my vote. There you go. Now you got one. Now you got two.
So, what are they changing their thumbs up to the thumbs down now? Are they? You buggers.
Well, I changed mine just so you wouldn't feel bad.
Okay.
All right, I'll put mine back.
Okay. Oh, they're dropping now. I've only got 13. I didn't see what I got up to.
Now cut that out.
25. There's no thumbs down.
Okay.
I'll have to refresh it. I'll have to see what's there. Okay, guys. Hopefully I'll have me... what was I doing? Telescopes. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out where to go from there.
Yeah.
Cause it's hard to stick with the timeline back, like the turn of the century, late 1800s, very early 1900s technologies and inventions. Because once the World Wars comes through, that's it. Stuff just skyrocketed.
Oh yeah, First World War, everything just sort of appeared and took off, didn't it? Sometimes literally.
Gary says, don't forget your favourite flatty earther.
Platt.
No, he's got platty earther. Why can't you? What's platty earther? Yeah, flat. He's corrected. He said flat. Okay, Gary.
Typo. That's fair.
I don't think I've actually got an actual favourite flat earther yet. I'm going to have to work that one out.
Yeah.
I'll have to give Gary the link to come in sometimes when we're a bit low in numbers on the panel. We can have a bit of a chat. Not an argument. Just a chat. Because I don't
amicable.
Yeah, I don't argue. I'm not like some people that bloody just want to argue and yell and scream and.
Come on, man. Open your mind.
My mind's open up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always been open. If I had a closed mind, I wouldn't get anywhere.
This is true.
All right then. I better stop streaming, otherwise we'll be going here for another 3 hours.
Okay. Bye, Peanuts.
Bye, Peanuts.
See you, Peanuts.